The unfortunate scene begins with a man defending his life against a bear in armor, while a man wearing a suit watches with fear painted on his face. The man in the suit, the protagonist of this story, wants to help the man being attacked somehow. The armored bear is preoccupied with the merchant and doesn't know he is nearby. He sees it as a chance to run away, but a thought comes that it would just make him a horrible adult. The protagonist has always looked up to firefighters as they always help people and are like heroes. Even though the protagonist had already given up on that dream, he is confused as he is suddenly floating out of nowhere and only remembers that he was on the last train going home after working overtime. A notification then shows up in front of him and asks the protagonist weird questions. With each option, the protagonist contemplates and doubts that he could fulfill its roles, and ends up not liking the conclusion, wondering if it's possible to choose none. Luckily for him, he sees a hidden option that gives him the choice to select none. By selecting none, the protagonist, whose name is Kousaka, is given substandard abilities and begins his transfer to another world. After being transported to a new world, Kou can't believe that everything is real and not just a dream. He tries checking his pockets for materials from his world but can't find any. While thinking about what he should do inside the forest, he is surprised when his status shows up in front of him, and he immediately notices that he has a lot of MP. After reading his status and skill set, Kou activates his skill called Full Assist. Kou feels like something flows into the back of his head. Since he is unsure of what it is, he focuses on what helps him first. The first ability is called Item Box, and asks him to select a target. After touching a tree and calling out storage, the tree gradually vanishes and is transferred to his item box. His next ability is called Dismantling, which mainly uses demon corpses as food or materials. When Kou tries the dismantle skill on the tree he placed in his item box, the tree turns into 5 pieces of cypress wood. The next ability is called Creation. With a material he currently possesses, he can create another material out of it. With the cypress wood that he just obtained using the creation skill, he can create 5 cypress sticks with 1 cypress wood. After performing the creation skill, Kou receives a notification that the skill leveled up to rank 2 due to skill experience point acquisition. Kou finds it very convenient that he can level up the skill by creating more materials. He then wonders if the status window can open or close. In his mind, it suddenly switches the status from image mode to window mode. Kou realizes that all can be done in his head. Thinking of more recipes for his skill, he then creates a cypress wood axe. Since he has never used a weapon before, Kou tries throwing the axe as hard as he can onto the rock. However, he is surprised to see that he can cut the huge rock with one throw of the axe. Even though there are other abilities he does not understand yet, with the current knowledge he has of his abilities, Kou knows he can get by with them. After some time, Kou is able to raise the rank of his creation ability to rank 5. He realizes 3 things after raising the creation ability's rank. Experience points are gained whenever he activates a new recipe, a rank up happens when experience points reach a certain value, and an existing recipe will not give any experience points. Kou is able to make 8 recipes from a Japanese cypress tree, and each item has its own effect. The cypress chair he created can make people faint. Kou then plans to get to a village before it gets dark. After walking for some time, he realizes that he still doesn't feel tired and wonders if it's the transferer skill that could greatly improve the special skills and physical capabilities of the user. It is thanks to the transferer skill that all 5 senses of Kou are sharpened. From a distance, he hears a loud scream and immediately goes towards it. That is when he sees the man being attacked by the armored bear. Remembering that he has always admired firefighters who risked their lives to save other people, after contemplating hard, Kou finally decides to take action. Using his axe, he throws it at the armored bear and ends up cutting its head. The man is surprised to see the armored bear die instantly. Kou decides that he doesn't want to be a hero, but instead wants to be someone who can reach out to someone in need. The man introduced himself as Chrome and explained that he was a merchant, while Kou introduced himself as a woodworker. However, observing his actions, Chrome was surprised because Kou didn't seem like a woodworker. Chrome then asked Kou if he was the one who crafted the axe that he had thrown, as it displayed incredible power, powerful enough to defeat an armored bear in a single blow. Unaware of the armored bear's power, Chrome explained to Kou that an armored bear was an A-rank monster, capable of destroying a small village overnight when it started rampaging. Subduing the monster was difficult due to its armor-clad body, and most attacks wouldn't harm it. Kou was astonished to hear that what he had done was extraordinary. As the sun began to set, Chrome invited Kou to spend the night at his mansion in the city. Kou noticed that Chrome seemed a bit down after inspecting the carriage and inquired about the baggage. Chrome responded that since the coachman and horse had fled during the attack, he had no means of transporting the merchandise. Kou offered to carry Chrome's baggage using his item box. Chrome was pleased and looked forward to seeing Kou's abilities. After using the item box, Chrome was shocked and became more curious about Kou's identity. Kou told Chrome that he was just an ordinary woodworker, but Chrome had doubts about Kou's statement. He believed that someone with such extraordinary abilities would have ruled the world. Kou tried to explain that he had been practicing in the mountains, which was why he didn't understand common sense at all. On their way to the city of Onan, Kou tried to gather information from someone who had lived in the mountain. Kou learned that there were two types of skills, talent and intelligence, and they were present at birth and couldn't be increased in number. There was a limit of 3 skills per person, and the people in this world had no concept of levels. No matter how many monsters a normal person killed, explosive growth couldn't be expected. Kou asked Chrome why he had no escort if he knew that there were monsters like the armored bear. Chrome responded that he had hired escorts, but they had instantly fled upon seeing the armored bear. Chrome usually hired high-ranking adventurers, but they happened to be unavailable, so he had to resort to mercenary guilds. When Chrome pointed at the city, Kou was mesmerized by its beauty. Then they heard a commotion in front of the gate. It was the group of mercenaries who had accompanied Chrome. The mercenaries explained that Chrome had panicked and charged at the armored bear, resulting in his death. A knight who had spotted Chrome from a distance was surprised to see him alive. Chrome then explained what had happened and presented the head of the armored bear as evidence that Kou had saved him. The night guards were astonished to see the bear's head and immediately demanded an explanation from the mercenaries. Since the mercenaries couldn't provide a clear answer, Chrome told the knights the truth, which infuriated the night guards. One of the mercenaries was furious because their plan had been ruined and was about to attack Chrome. However, Kou managed to block the attack using the chair he had created. Thanks to the chair's faint effect, the mercenary was instantly knocked out after being hit in the head. The city's residents witnessed how Kou had incapacitated the mercenary with a single blow and praised him for it. After being questioned by the night guards, Kou headed to Chrome's mansion. Upon arrival and seeing the mansion, Kou was stunned by its size. Chrome's staff greeted Kou and provided him with food and a luxurious guest room. While lying on the couch, Kou contemplated that if he were to return to Japan, a corporate life would be the only thing waiting for him. Kou spent the night making plans to travel freely and enjoy another world. Another day arrived, and Kou was surprised to receive a month's worth of lodging from Chrome. Chrome explained that it was payment for saving his life. He also suggested that Kou get acquainted with the town while relaxing at an inn, which was also owned by Chrome's company. Kou had forgotten that Chrome was not just a merchant, but also the head of a large company called Scarlet Company. Chrome had disguised himself as a merchant to relive those moments. However, he seemed to be planning to pass on the position to his son. Chrome believed that meeting Kou was fate and offered him a piece of advice. After hearing Chrome's encouraging words, Kou became happy and thanked him for the advice. Chrome suggested that Kou become an adventurer since he planned to see the world, and he was confident that Kou's abilities would make it easy for him to achieve a high rank. Before leaving, Chrome gave one more piece of advice. He suggested that Kou wear armor, as other adventurers might perceive him as weak if he dressed casually. Thinking about where to obtain armor, Kou came up with an idea and created his own armor using materials from the armored bear. Kou then made his entrance at the Adventurers Guild, where people were surprised to see him wearing the armored bear as armor. They instantly assumed that Kou was the person who had defeated the mercenaries at the gate. The people inside the guild house immediately bestowed upon Kou the nickname Bear Killer, and wondered what he was doing in the Adventurers Guild. Some assumed that Kou was an adventurer with a high rank, yet little did they know that he was just a rookie adventurer. Seeing Kou up close, the male receptionist promptly excused himself and was then replaced by a younger female receptionist. The female receptionist introduced herself as Melia and welcomed Kou to the guild. After complimenting Kou's attire, Kou got straight to the point and informed Melia that he wanted to register as an adventurer. Melia was surprised to hear that Kou was just about to register, given his well-equipped appearance, and assumed he was an active adventurer from another country. Melia instructed Kou to first complete the registration form, and once he had done so, he could take the practical examination. Kou then handed in his form, although Melia was uncertain if Kou was joking based on what he had written. Melia accepted the form for the time being and asked Kou if he wished to take the practical exam immediately. She then informed Kou that for the practical exam, he would spar with an instructor. However, for today's exam, a former A-rank adventurer would be his sparring partner. The adventurer often boasted that he was as strong as an armored bear, and warned Kou that the exam might be challenging for him. As they all gathered in the underground training area, Kou noticed that the other applicants were standing behind him. Melia offered advice and words of encouragement to Kou. He then summoned a massive mallet and assured Melia that he wouldn't let his guard down and would give it his all. Even though the cypress mallet weighed over 100 kilograms, Kou was surprised at how easily he could wield it. When he tested a swing, it created a powerful gust of wind in the area. The other applicants fell silent after witnessing his strong swing. The adventurer then faced Kou and warned him that he would face a formidable opponent. When Melia announced that the exam would begin, both combatants remained silent for a few moments. To break the ice, the adventurer reminded Kou that it was all just an exam, and that he could attack right away. Kou accepted the offer and immediately swung his mallet at the adventurer. The adventurer displayed his magnificent skill by evading all of Kou's attacks. When it was the adventurer's turn to strike, he was surprised to find Kou's weapon had disappeared. After missing the attack, the adventurer stepped back as Kou retrieved his mallet from storage and swung it at the adventurer's sword, causing it to shatter. Melia then declared Kou the winner of the match. The other applicants cheered for Kou as he put on a spectacular display. The adventurer approached Kou and admitted defeat, also complimenting how Kou had used the item box to his advantage. After passing the exam, Kou received his guild card. Melia remained surprised as she hadn't expected Kou to defeat an A-rank adventurer. She then handed Kou a booklet containing the guild's rules. Melia explained that there were 7 adventurer ranks in total, and the guild would determine a rank based on an adventurer's completion of requests and subjugation history. She also mentioned the actions that would result in severe punishment within the guild and the process of accepting a quest. She informed Kou that once he reached rank B, he would receive compensation money for injuries and a pension upon retirement. After hearing Melia's explanation, Kou planned to focus on raising his rank for the time being. Melia suggested that Kou take a quest and recommended one to collect 50 newsgrass. Kou was surprised at first since he had just received his guild card and already had a quest before him. After receiving details about the client and the rewards, she provided important information to Kou. In reality, a rookie adventurer's first quest required them to be accompanied by a high-ranked adventurer. She asked Kou to wait and trust her as she would find him a partner for the journey. While waiting for Melia, Kou felt relieved that he had become an adventurer in such a short time and planned to thank Chrome for all his help. Melia had managed to secure a high-ranking adventurer to accompany Kou. He was surprised to see the red hair, crimson red eyes, and dragon's horn. Melia then introduced Kou's partner as Iris Newt Fafnir, an A-rank adventurer from the Dragonfolk tribe. After exchanging greetings and formalities, Kou felt a little nervous and used honorific speech out of habit. His new partner reassured him that he could relax and call her Iris. Melia informed Iris that Kou had grown up in the mountains without much exposure to common human knowledge, which made Iris believe that Kou was a suitable companion given the differences in human common sense. Iris asked Kou if he knew what they needed to do first. Kou responded that they first had to gather information since he didn't know much about the Naos grass. Aside from not knowing what it looks like, Kou also didn't know where it grows. Iris was impressed by Kou's plan and advised him that if he were to prepare properly, he would surely get results. Iris then reminded Kou that everything he needed to know was inside the booklet Melia had given him. Kou was surprised to find out that the second part of the booklet was filled with information, including the material distribution on the map of the surrounding area. Kou was impressed as the booklet looked a lot like a strategy book. Iris informed Kou that Melia made the book herself since she was originally assigned to the guild headquarters in the royal capital, but the current branch manager asked for assistance. Iris advised Kou to befriend Melia as she would most likely become an executive at the guild headquarters. Iris then asked if there was anything else they needed. Kou responded that they needed supplies since he only had armor and weapon. As they arrived at the Adventurer's Street, the two bought all the necessities they needed for the journey. Iris wondered if Kou's item box was big enough to fit all their equipment, but she was surprised to find out when Kou told her that his item box had unlimited capacity storage. Iris explained that an ordinary item box normally has a small capacity and is treated as a failure of a skill. Adventurers like Iris use other magic tools that perform better than the item box. All high-ranking adventurers have magic items similar to what Iris has, and Kou's item box was just not normal. Now that they were ready, the two went ahead towards the Cello Forest to collect the Noose Grass. When Kou finally found a Naos grass, Iris warned Kou to be careful when pulling the Naos grass because it roots itself, and the leaves would shred if he slid his hands on it. While being cautious with his next step, Kou thought of an idea and stored the Naos grass in his item box, which made the process of picking the Naos grass much easier. Iris was impressed as she thought that the item box was just a misplaced skill. Kou spotted another Naos grass but was curious why the plant had spots on its leaves. Iris explained that it was Neolana grass, which is an entirely different plant. Iris was surprised at how difficult the quest was since they had to differentiate the Naos grass from the Neolana grass. With the requested amount, Iris assumed that the quest might take until evening to finish. Kou then used one of his skills called Artisan God's Eye, a skill that tells the user the location of similar items as the item specified. After an hour, Kou was able to gather the 50 Naos grass needed for the quest. Since they were able to finish their quest in just a short time, Kou asked Iris what type of people the Dragonfolk tribe were. Iris responded that the dragons were the strongest and largest beasts that had ruled over the earth. The Dragonfolk were the descendants of the dragon. Their lives were much longer than humans and their bodies were also much stronger. When Kou mentioned that he was envious envious of the dragonfolk's attributes, Iris was surprised since humans tend to keep their distance from dragonfolk, mostly because they are afraid. Realizing how clueless he was, Kou apologized for his words. Iris responded that she didn't mind, but rather hearing the words of envy made her happy. After finishing their task and arriving at the Adventurers Guild, Melia was surprised to hear that Kou had already finished the quest. After a couple of minutes, Melia was able to confirm that the quest had been successfully completed, and asked how Kou was able to finish the task so fast and obtain fresh Neos grass. After explaining to Melia a way to use the item box to obtain fresh Neos grass, she was surprised and seemed like she would be reporting the information to the guild headquarters. Melia handed Kou the reward and informed Kou that if his collection method was allowed, he would receive an extra reward. As his first quest was a success, Kou went ahead and headed towards the inn that Chrome mentioned. Upon seeing the inn, Kou could clearly guess that the lodging Chrome mentioned was not for adventurers. Kou immediately changed his outfit to blend in with the lodging. When he finally entered the room, Kou was a little nervous since the room he was put in was much bigger than the room he had in Japan. Even though Kou was so hungry, he was hesitant since the restaurant in the inn was so expensive. After seeing the gourmet guide in the booklet, Kou immediately went towards the restaurant and was immediately full after having his dinner. The next day at the Fatos Mountains, Kou was given a quest to subdue 5 lonely wolves. Before heading towards the mountains, Melia informed him that if Kou could bring back the fur, then he would get more money. Kou thought that the quest would be easy and nice. However, he had already been searching for an hour, and he still had yet to see the lonely wolves. Kou was able to find rare materials that are vital in making a healing and detoxification potion. Using his creation spell, Kou successfully made a healing potion. After tasting the potion, he then sensed something behind him. As he turned around, Kou immediately pulled out his weapon as he finally saw a lonely wolf. Kou was delighted that after searching for some time, a lone wolf had finally appeared and was approaching him. He summoned his weapon and prepared to fight as the lone wolf attacked him. With Kou's agility, he evaded the attack and swiftly dispatched the lone wolf. Seeing how easily he had taken down the wolf, Kou felt a little nervous about the sharpness of his weapon. After collecting the remains and fur, he was relieved to find that the lone wolf wasn't very strong. Kou then heard growling nearby and spotted a pack of lone wolves. He was surprised because, to his knowledge, lone wolves typically acted alone rather than in packs. Kou engaged in a fight with the lone wolves, and after defeating the second one, he was amazed to find that he had gained experience points. Kou realized he had a skill that automatically collected the monster's remains, saving him the trouble of doing it manually. One by one, Kou defeated and killed the lone wolf. Despite using various types of weapons to fight the lone wolves, Kou couldn't comprehend their seemingly endless numbers, as they kept coming. After defeating the last lone wolf, Kou had collected a total of 2,031 lone wolf corpses. He recognized that what he had experienced was unusual and decided to report it to the guild. On his way back to the guild, Kou encountered a female lone wolf, which made him understand why there were so many male lone wolves in the area, as it was their nature to flee from the pregnant female lone wolf. After dealing with the female lone wolf and gaining more experience points, Kou realized that his level had increased significantly just for that day. While walking through the forest, Kou came across a pond and decided to rest there after having his lunch. In the forest, he spotted 2 individuals who were breathing heavily. The 2 were surprised when Kou inquired if they were okay. They immediately recognized Kou's armor as that of the bear killer. They informed Kou that it was crucial to leave the mountain quickly, as they had encountered a massive black spider in the forest. A black spider was a dangerous monster that dwelled deep in the mountains. Kou observed the 2 adventurers as they explained the situation and concluded that they were likely E-rank adventurers on a quest. Unfortunately, they had crossed paths with a black spider, something a rookie couldn't handle. The 2 mentioned that they had encountered an A-rank adventurer named Iris. Upon hearing that the black spider might pose a challenge even for Iris, Kou asked for the last location where the 2 had seen the spider. After receiving the location, Kou instructed the 2 to return to the guild while he searched for Iris. One of the adventurers argued with Kou, deeming it too dangerous for him to follow, but the female adventurer understood the situation and assured Kou that they would call for backup once they reached the guild. The female adventurer reassured everyone that Kou would be safe, as the spirits of the mountain had guided her and would keep Kou away from danger. The 2 wished Kou good luck and departed. Kou then sprinted to the location the 2 adventurers had provided. He heard a voice briefly and followed a path littered with the corpses of lone wolves, just in time to evade a surprise attack by the black spider. A black spider is a highly magic-resistant and exceptionally intelligent monster. It secretes a venomous poison from its fangs and produces sticky threads. Kou approached the black spider with great caution. When the black spider attempted to attack Kou, he was surprised by its speed. Using his agility, Kou drew his sword and attempted to inflict a fatal blow on the black spider. However, all his attacks resulted in only superficial damage and failed to land any fatal blows. Kou needed to end the fight quickly since he hadn't fully assessed Iris's condition. While not paying attention to the monster, the black spider seized the opportunity and attacked Kou. The black spider's assault was forceful, throwing Kou into a tree, causing it to collapse. If it weren't for the armor's level up and enhanced defense, Kou knew he wouldn't have lasted much longer. Seeing his cypress sword on the ground, the black spider used its sticky threads to ensnare Kou to a tree. Realizing he was in a dire situation, Kou had to stay focused, as it was perilous for the black spider to bite him. Kou then recalled that he had previously stored a cypress tree in his item box and attempted to do the same with the tree he was currently trapped on. Kou's strategy succeeded, and he managed to escape by storing the tree in his item box. Standing before the black spider, Kou noticed Iris's spear. Now armed with both the spear and his sword, Kou resumed the battle. He used the sword as a distraction and, seeing an opportunity, utilized Iris's spear to stab the black spider's back. The black spider shrieked in pain as Kou withdrew the spear and continued to attack its back. Anticipating another attack from the black spider, Kou strategically evaded the assault and countered by thrusting the spear into the spider's leg joint. Realizing he could handle the black spider more effectively now, Kou understood that his earlier impatience had hindered his performance, preventing him from showcasing his true abilities. Terrified for its life, the black spider attempted to flee. However, Kou didn't allow it the opportunity, throwing Iris's spear at the spider and hitting it in the back. To conclude the fight, Kou leaped toward the black spider and cleaved it in two. After successfully defeating the black spider, Kou gained more experience points and reached level 24. Along with leveling up, Kou also unlocked the new automapping skill, meeting its conditions. For a moment, he marveled at being able to see the world map, but he quickly remembered Iris lying on the ground and rushed to her side. Upon inspecting Iris's condition, he found that although barely alive, she was still breathing. Kou promptly retrieved a healing potion from his item box and applied it to Iris's injuries, hoping it would heal her. After some time, all of Iris's injuries had vanished, and she regained consciousness. Iris was momentarily confused and tried to warn Kou about the dangers of the black spider. Kou reassured Iris that she didn't need to worry because he had already taken care of it. Kou couldn't believe that even in her weakened state, Iris was still concerned about others. He asked if Iris felt any lingering discomfort. Iris mentioned that due to the black spider's poison, she couldn't move her legs, even when she thought she was about to die. To cure her paralysis, Kou had Iris drink a potion, which instantly cured her. Impressed by the effectiveness of Kou's potion, Iris was now able to move and speak properly. She thanked Kou for saving her life and insisted that she owed him her life. Although Kou told her not to worry about it, Iris insisted on taking him out to dinner sometime. When Iris asked if Kou was suggesting they go on a date, he was taken aback. Seeing Kou's reaction, Iris couldn't help but laugh, revealing it was a joke to lighten the mood. When Iris tried to stand up, she felt dizzy and nearly stumbled. Realizing that Iris would have difficulty descending the mountain, Kou carried her on his back. Iris then realized that it was Kou who had defeated the black spider. Kou replied that the fight had been challenging, unlike the armored bear he had defeated in one go. When Iris asked if he wasn't scared at all, Kou responded that he hadn't been thinking about anything else at the time because he was focused on protecting her. Hearing Kou's words made Iris blush, and she thanked Kou again for saving her. Later on, the two adventurers that Kou met greeted him with joy. Seeing Kou in poor condition, Melia welcomed him and complimented his excellent work. Melia then asked if Kou would prefer to have dinner or take a bath first. Kou replied that he would submit the quest report before resting. After laying Iris on the bed, Kou and Melia found themselves in the adventurer's reception room. Before Melia inquired about Kou's report, she confided in him and revealed her guild card, indicating her new role as an assistant branch manager. Kou was impressed by Melia's new position, but remained curious about why she was posing as a receptionist. Melia explained that it was somewhat of a public facade and allowed her to assist others. She expressed her gratitude to Kou for subduing the black spider, noting that without him, many lives would have been lost. Melia then moved past the formalities and asked Kou about his adventures. Kou went on to describe his experiences after leaving the guild, with Melia showing particular interest in the pack of lonely wolves he had encountered. Upon examining Kou's history of subjugations, Melia was surprised to learn that he had managed to defeat 2,048 lonely wolves single-handedly. This achievement was greatly aided by two adventurers who had provided the guild with information about the black spider. When Melia inquired about the antidote Kou had used to counteract the black spider's venom, given that no official cure existed, Kou explained that he had crafted a potion, which he handed over in the hope that the guild could replicate it. Kou learned that the Onin branch management was scheduled for a meeting the following day, during which one of the topics of discussion would be raising Kou's rank. After explaining the rewards for the subjugation, Kou was overwhelmed when he heard that the black spider alone was worth 5 million. Melia added that subjugation teams with an A rank would be formed, and the rewards would be shared. Kou then remembered the group of adventurers who had been ready to rescue Chrome at the entrance. Kou reminded Melia about Iris's contribution to the mission since she had risked her life facing the monster. Melia assured Kou that Iris would indeed receive a reward. After submitting his report, Kou encountered the adventurer he had sparred with before, Jeez. Jeez praised Kou's skills as he had managed to defeat the black spider on his own. Jeez then invited Kou to dine at the Golden Bear restaurant, where Kou was the guest of honor. Some of the attendees debated whether they should now call Kou the Spider Killer instead of the Bear Killer. The celebration made Kou very happy, as the city made him feel like he was already one of them. Later that night, Iris visited the restaurant, causing the patrons to fall silent. Kou recalled what Iris had told him earlier, and wondered if there was something he could do to improve the situation. Kou then woke up the adventurer he had met in the mountains, and together they approached Iris, thanking her for saving them. After thanking Iris for her hard work, Kou informed the patrons that he wasn't the only hero of the quest. Iris had also single-handedly battled the black spider. In response to Kou's words, the patrons cheered for Iris's outstanding efforts. 10 days after the incident, Kou had acclimated to life in Onin, although there were still some minor adjustments. Melia congratulated Kou on achieving D rank as an adventurer, and mentioned that it was the fastest promotion in history. To reach C rank, one needed to subdue C rank monsters, gather materials, and complete city quests, which involved various tasks in the city, excluding shopping. Kou's daily quest was to work as an assistant at the Golden Bear restaurant. Kou was not yet accustomed to the way adventurers spoke, often using honorifics when addressing others. Nevertheless, Kou equipped himself with the finest kitchen attire and began chopping vegetables, despite having little to no experience in cooking. However, Kou managed to create delicious dishes, earning praise from the restaurant owner. His second task was to help expand the city's walls. Due to the growing population and the condition of the existing wall, it was being demolished and renovated. Kou's role involved clearing debris from the construction site and storing it in his item box. Afterward, Kou headed to the east side of the city, where the dwarven workshops were located. He delivered the construction site's bricks to the dwarves, who, in gratitude, offered to share a drink, but Kou declined as he was in the midst of a quest. After completing his tasks for the day, Kou returned to the guild to report his results and collect his rewards. He then met up with Iris and they had dinner together, as Iris still owed Kou for saving her from the black spider. When Iris asked what brought Kou to the city, he explained that he had coincidentally encountered Chrome along the way. Kou, in turn, asked Iris about her reason for being there, and she confessed that she was searching for the ruins of ancient civilizations beneath the city. It is said that a highly advanced magical civilization once thrived on this continent a long time ago. Life was far more prosperous back then, and they faced no threats from demon beasts. Though the ancient civilization eventually perished, it left its traces across the continent. A recent investigation hinted at the existence of a vast underground city located somewhere near the city of Onin. Kou was amazed to hear Iris's story and her truly astonishing purpose. A smile graced Kou's face as he assumed that such a highly advanced ancient civilization might have ancient superweapons resting in its ruins. Iris added that she had clues about it, as there were quite a few poems and documents regarding it. However, she still lacked the precise location. When Kou attempted to locate anything unusual on his auto-mapping device, Iris was surprised by the map and inquired about it. After explaining the auto-mapping skill, Kou offered to show Iris the map and she eagerly accepted. Kou then asked the auto-mapping device to display the underground city's location. To his surprise, it provided him with the entrance to the underground city number 0. When he saw that the location was inside the Cello Forest, Kou became uncertain about the reliability of the information. He asked Iris for her thoughts, and she was amazed that they had found the underground city. The two of them then planned to head to the location the following morning. The next day, Kou and Iris found themselves inside the Cello Forest, following the coordinates from the map. However, when they reached the entrance, they were met with a multitude of large rock boulders. Kou felt a pang of disappointment that he wouldn't be able to use his new items made from the materials he had obtained from the black spider. They began to investigate the cliff to see if there were any hidden doors. After examining several boulders, Kou finally discovered a peculiar one. However, when he attempted to lift it with his super strength, he found himself unable to do so. Iris then suggested that Kou use his item box to store the massive boulder. Kou followed her advice and successfully stored the boulder. They were astonished to find a door and wondered if it led to the entrance of the underground city. When Iris touched the door, she felt warmth emanating from it. which she assumed was due to the orichalcum. Orichalcum was a rare metal known for its exceptional anti-physical and anti-magical defenses, though its processing technique had long been lost. When Kou touched the door, an inscription slowly appeared, and an orichalcum golem materialized with the intent of eliminating him. Iris offered herself as a decoy and urged Kou to escape immediately. The orichalcum golem was an S-rank threat, one rank higher than a black spider. Iris had once fought one, and it had taken 20 A-rank adventurers just to barely defeat it. Instead of fleeing, Kou wanted to see if they could take on the golem. In case they couldn't handle it, they planned to run away together. While they were discussing their strategy, the golem seized the opportunity and fired a laser from its eye. Seeing the damage caused by the laser, Kou realized he did not want to be hit by it. Kou asked Iris how they had defeated the golem before, and she told him that they had aimed for the eyes since they were the only part not protected by the orichalcum. Kou assured Iris that he would shield the attacks, allowing her to target and disable the golem's eye. After sharing the plan with Iris, she mentioned that if they defeated the orichalcum golem, Kou would be as powerful as 19 A-rank adventurers. When the golem launched another laser attack at Kou, he directed it towards his gauntlet, which absorbed the attack. Using his new gauntlet with the effects of the black spider, which had an S+ tier magic absorption, Kou planned to continue absorbing the golem's attacks. While Kou absorbed the golem's lasers, Iris seized the opportunity to attack the golem's eye. Despite successfully stabbing the golem's eye, it was not enough to bring it down. When the golem attempted to counterattack, Kou used one of the gauntlet's abilities, the black spider's thread, to subdue the golem. With one of its limbs incapacitated, Kou rushed toward it and stabbed the other eye with his cypress sword. Kou's attack proved to be the golem's downfall, and it was defeated. After defeating the golem, Kou gained experience and reached level 38. He also acquired the rights to be the master of the underground city. Before entering the underground city, Iris expressed her gratitude to Kou, acknowledging that without him, she would have been lost and unable to witness the ancient civilization. Kou simply smiled at Iris as they headed toward the underground city. Iris began to suspect Kou as a transferer due to his unusual abilities, typical of transferers. She explained that there was a legend among the dragon folk about a strange being from a distant land known to possess an extraordinary array of skills. Kou eventually confessed to Iris, admitting that he was in fact a transferer and asked her to keep it a secret. Iris agreed to Kou's request and bombarded him with questions, leaving Kou to wonder how she'd react if he revealed he was from another world. Kou responded to Iris with a vague answer. Apologetically, Iris noticed Kou's discomfort and began to explain her own hometown. Kou then pointed to the light and suggested that the tunnel they were in might be ending. The two ran together and reached the tunnel's end, revealing a vast expanse with lakes and a sun. Iris, still confused, asked if they had arrived at the underground city. Kou heard a rustling sound and signaled Iris to be prepared. A slime-like creature appeared before them and assured Kou and Iris that it wasn't a hostile monster, but a helpful one. The slime clarified that it wasn't a monster but rather a servant. After determining that the slime wasn't an enemy, it heaved a sigh of relief and recognized Kou as its master. Several other helper slimes arrived and greeted Kou, explaining that they were created specifically for the master's benefit. Iris took a liking to the helper slimes because she found them cute. She blushed when Kou teased her for her fondness for cute things. The helper slime then provided information about the underground city, which was built as a sanctuary in case of emergencies. Suddenly, the full assist skill connected to the underground city's mainframe, expanding the effects of the creation spell. Much to Kou's surprise, after learning about the two additional functions of the creation spell, Kou was able to construct a house inside the underground city. The first condition for the creation skill was that excess magic power would be used as building materials during production. The second condition allowed the use of these materials for constructing structures. Kou was delighted with the improvements to his creation skill. The helper slime explained to Kou that the building they were about to construct followed a different process and didn't require Kou's creation ability. Despite Kou's intention to inform the helper slimes that he was a special case, they astutely deduced that Kou possessed the creation skill, a divine ability that only recognized individuals could have. While the helper slimes praised Kou's extraordinary talents, Iris overheard their conversation and inquired about this skill called creation, which was new to her. She remarked that Kou would make enemies of craftsmen with such a skill. Kou and Iris decided to report everything to the guild and return to Anin for the time being. When Kou explained their discovery of the underground city to Melia, she was surprised and asked them to wait while she consulted with her superior. As they waited, Kou and Iris enjoyed the food they had brought. When Melia's superior finally arrived, Kou expected an elderly figure, but it turned out to be a young man named Leric d'Hubert, the third son of a dukedom. Leric requested that Kou treat him as an equal, despite his noble status. With curiosity gleaming in his eyes, Lyric inquired about the underground city that Kou and Iris had found. Lyric couldn't help but be amazed by everything about the underground city. When Kou opened the door for Lyric, he was surprised to learn that the underground city's mainframe recognized Kou as its master. Kou hadn't informed Lyric about being the owner of the underground city. He had only mentioned finding the place through auto-mapping. Lyric was utterly dumbfounded and at a loss for words when Kou confessed that he had defeated an orichalcum golem. After entering the underground city, Lyric had the same reaction as Iris and questioned whether they were truly in the underground city. Impressed by the cleanliness and preservation of the place, Lyric immediately began taking notes in his notebook. He mentioned that the discovery of the underground city would revolutionize the field of archaeology. He was also surprised that he hadn't included the details in his thesis. When a helper slime greeted Kou and Iris, Lyric was once again amazed to encounter such an ancient magical creature. As an expert in ancient civilizations, he had initially assumed the helper slimes were a hoax. Still curious about the house, Lyric inquired if the helper slime had built it. The slime responded that its master had created it. Kou then explained that the master of the place could construct almost anything. Lyric gradually caught up with the situation and expressed his gratitude to Kou for discovering the place. He acknowledged that if it weren't for Kou, other people might have vandalized the site without informing the guild. Lyric was deeply thankful and assured Kou that he would repay any favor asked of him. Kou then asked Lyric about the underground civilization since he had no knowledge of it. Inside the house that Kou had built, Lyric felt awkward going barefoot outdoors. Evidently, the ancient civilization strictly prohibited wearing shoes indoors, although it was not new to Kou, who felt like he was back in his own house. Kou pondered whether this world was Earth far in the future. Lyric then began his explanation. The ancient civilization had been a flourishing society around 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. This civilization possessed highly advanced magical technology, and the sky had been the limit for them. They may have even reached other planets. All the technology they currently used had been excavated from ruins and further developed. Space travel with aircraft and smartphones, Kou found a resemblance to the ancient civilization and his previous world. Suddenly, this civilization lost everything. When Kou asked what had caused the fall of the ancient civilization, Lyric couldn't provide an answer. However, according to their recent investigations, a monster referred to as the Calamity was likely the cause of their destruction. Kou had a bad feeling about the Calamity and hoped it wasn't the reason he had been transported to this new world. Iris added that the Calamity was also mentioned in her people's history, as humans and dragonfolk had fought together against it. The combined forces' defeat led to the dragonfolk losing everything. After the Calamity went on a rampage, it went into slumber somewhere in their world. Lyric then mentioned that in the last 6 months monsters had been acting unusually throughout the continent. He was unsure of the cause but hoped it wasn't a sign that the Calamity was awakening. Iris also noted that the monsters Kou had fought were out of the ordinary. As the tension grew, the helper slime arrived with tea and snacks at just the right time, breaking the ice. After tasting the food, they were pleasantly surprised by how delicious it was and didn't leave a single morsel uneaten. After complimenting the food, Lyric was curious about where the helper slimes obtained the ingredients. The helper slime explained that they all had an item box and demonstrated this by producing a rocking chair from its body. Returning to their conversation, Lyric shared his proposal and asked Kou if he wanted to build something. Lyric's primary motive was archaeological research, and his secondary aim was to prepare for the future. Given recent events, he believed something might happen to Anand, and if it did, he hoped the underground city could serve as a useful evacuation center. Kou liked the idea since he hadn't known what to do with the underground city initially. Kou was now enthusiastic about building a city within the underground city. They began their construction, and Kou's stock had reached 8,000 because he had spent 30 minutes in the underground city. Lyric was curious about the ball that Kou released, and Kou explained that it was part of the process for creating things within the underground city. With a single move, Kou created an entire town. Iris praised Kou's work and Lyric was ecstatic, requesting Kou's permission to inspect the newly created town. Kou agreed, and the slime also asked Kou if they could furnish the inside of the houses, to which Kou also agreed. Lyric was overjoyed by what he had witnessed and experienced in just one day. It was an incredible discovery for archaeology. He mentioned his intention to inform the authorities about the discovery. Kou was amazed to learn that Lyric held a degree and had developed Magic City lamps, kitchen magic stoves, showers, and more. Lyric planned to introduce a new magical tool next month and hoped Kou would look forward to it. Suddenly, their peaceful conversation was disrupted by a strong tremor, leaving them wondering if it was an earthquake. A helper slime called out to Kou, mentioning that there was danger. The helper slime then guided the three to a dark monolith. In front of the massive monolith, Kou and Iris noticed a pattern on the magic circle in front of them that resembled the one that had appeared with the orichalcum golem. Suddenly, Lyric disappeared while attempting to share his thoughts. Determined not to abandon Lyric, Kou and Iris touched the magic circle and found themselves in a hallway, where they were reunited with Lyric, who had arrived there first. The three of them were relieved to see each other, but suddenly, Kou felt a presence behind him. He heard an approaching sound and immediately prepared himself, as they were uncertain whether it was a monster. To their surprise, they encountered a slime, which introduced itself as Glasses Slime, a small variant of a helper slime. When Kou inquired about their location, Glasses Slime informed them that they were in the deepest part of the underground city, known as the Deep Territory. Glasses Slime mentioned that they had been monitoring one of the calamities, the Black Dragon. When Kou asked if there were additional calamities, Glasses Slime responded that they were unsure of the exact number, but confirmed the presence of numerous calamities. Lyric was taken aback by this revelation. Glasses Slime acknowledged that the information was shocking, but the crucial point was that their current location maintained a seal. Once certain conditions were met, the seal would be broken and the Black Dragon would be resurrected. The three were in disbelief at what they had just heard. Kou, in particular, struggled to comprehend the situation. The Black Dragon had been responsible for the destruction of the ancient civilization, making it the final boss. Kou now felt immense pressure as he had just started adjusting to his new isekai life, and now everything had shifted into extreme mode. Glasses Slime explained that the Phatos Mountains to the north contained the resting place of the Black Dragon. They had less than 10 days before the Black Dragon would awaken. Glasses Slime promised to provide more information about the Black Dragon, but insisted on changing their location first. Glasses Slime displayed a magic tool that could project images and asked Kou to touch it. After Kou interacted with the tool, an image appeared before them, displaying records from 4,000 years ago, showing one of the cities from that time. With a single attack from the Black Dragon, the entire city was obliterated, and many humans were incinerated by the flames it produced. Kou was horrified by what he saw. Glasses Slime mentioned that there were over 100 casualties, and in just a few seconds, thousands of lives were lost. Kou immediately grasped that the Black Dragon was an entirely different level of threat. Lyric was shaken by what he had witnessed and urged Kou to return to Annin to evacuate everyone to the underground city for safety. Kou agreed with Lyric's suggestion. Glasses Slime then informed them that they had approximately 3 days before the Black Dragon's reawakening, and the completion of the evacuation was critical. Kou requested that Glasses Slime use transfer magic to take them to the entrance of the underground city, and from there they hurried to Annin. Upon their arrival at the guild, Kou sensed tension in the air and was curious about what was happening. Melia welcomed the three and asked about their journey to the underground city. When Lyric described their experiences as magnificent, Melia was pleased but realized that more pressing issues needed attention. To the north, the Phatos Mountains showed signs of a stampede, with thousands to tens of thousands of monsters expected to emerge in a few hours. Melia informed them that the guild estimated around 50,000 monsters would appear within the next 3 days, and were likely to attack Annin. She added that the feudal lord soldiers had been wiped out 3 months earlier by a stampede, making it impossible for them to provide any assistance. Annin's war potential relied solely on the Mercenaries Guild and the Adventurers Guild. Melia acknowledged the difficulty of defending the area and asked if the underground city was a suitable refuge. Kou assured her that there were no issues with taking refuge there. Upon reaching the underground city, Melia was astonished by what she saw. Zitan Bardan, the branch head of Annin's Adventurer Guild, met with Kou and expressed his gratitude for allowing everyone to take refuge in the underground city. Kou intended to inform Zitan about the Black Dragon, but suddenly Glasses Slime appeared agitated and asked Kou if there was a stampede beyond the Phatos Mountains. Due to the Magicules becoming agitated, the Black Dragon's reawakening date had changed, and was now much earlier than expected. Kou was not prepared for such devastating news and looked deeply concerned. In the underground city, Kou showed Iris and Melia the truth about the Phatos Mountains. Melia couldn't believe that they had been living so close to a dormant monster. Glasses Slime mentioned that the stampede had arrived earlier than expected, and they had at least until tomorrow morning to evacuate and prepare. Kou considered the possibility of both the Black Dragon and the monsters attacking Annin simultaneously. When Zitan offered to return to Annin to make preparations for evacuation, Kou wanted to tag along, but Glasses Slime asked him to stay, mentioning something they wanted to show him. Glasses Slime later informed Kou about a vault hidden in the Deep Territory. The people from 4,000 years ago left treasures for the master of the underground city. Confused about which door to open, Glasses Slime mentioned phrases that could open the vault. However, when Kou overheard those phrases, he told Glasses Slime that none of them applied to him. The mainframe system then checked Kou's status and, unfortunately, didn't meet any conditions. The system recognized that Kou possessed the creation ability, which satisfied the hidden requirement and opened all the doors. Glasses Slime was bewildered by what had just happened, but Kou didn't have time to waste and told Glasses Slime they would start from the left. Upon entering the room, they saw a broken sword hanging on the wall. Glasses Slime informed Kou that it was the Dragon Slayer's magic sword, a weapon from myth that had been destroyed in a battle against the Black Dragon 4,000 years ago. Glasses Slime added that if a hero were to wield it, they could revive the legend. However, Kou didn't consider himself a hero. After collecting the magic sword, Kou placed it in his item box, surprising Glasses Slime because the sword now looked pristine and new. When Glasses Slime asked how Kou fixed the sword without being a hero, Kou explained that he possessed the creation skill. He had learned the recipe by storing the magic sword and was able to restore and enhance it as well. The magic sword was imbued with blessings and spells that enhanced its strength, sharpness, and self-repairing ability. Combined with the attributes of the Dragon Slayer and God of War Sever, it was the perfect weapon to defeat dragons. Kou believed that with the sword in his hand, he might be able to match the Black Dragon. When they inspected the next door, Kou was surprised to find a literal artillery walker. Glasses Slime explained that the machine was an ultra-high-output magic railgun, a wide-range ordnance that could burn down anything, ideal for use against the Stampede. When Kou stored the powerful machine in his item box, Glasses Slime couldn't shake the unreal feeling of seeing Kou store weapons. The only way to remove the machine from the deep territory was to use a high-capacity item box, which a demon lord possessed. Due to Kou's unnatural existence, the capacity of his item box had reached infinity. Kou then came up with an idea and summoned a high-level destroyer golem, his trump card. The golem greeted Kou as its master and seemed to have a mind of its own. The destroyer golem pledged to vanquish the Stampede and asked Kou to entrust it with the task. After greeting Glasses Slime, the destroyer golem was placed in the item box again, and could be summoned by Kou when needed. Kou and Glasses then proceeded to the final door. Inside the third door, they discovered a broken shield. Glasses Slime explained that it was the Dragon God's shield, used in a battle 4,000 years ago. However, the Black Dragon had shattered the shield, and not even a sage could restore it. Glasses Slime wondered if Kou could repair the destroyed Dragon God's shield. After placing the shield inside the item box, Kou remained silent for a while, and then told Glasses Slime that he couldn't fix the shield. Glasses Slime wondered if it was due to a lack of materials, which also puzzled Kou. Glasses Slime then remembered the Dragon God's ruby, which was said to appear only once every 1,000 years in the Dragonfolk nation. Kou thought about what Glasses Slime had said but didn't have the time to visit another country at the moment. Nevertheless, Kou felt relieved that he possessed the magic sword and the destroyer golem, which might be sufficient to confront the Black Dragon and the Stampede. Kou thanked Glasses Slime for revealing the vaults and providing the weapons needed to deal with their current crisis. Glasses Slime then gave Kou one last thing, a good luck charm, and told Kou that a spirit would come to lend its power if he ever found himself in trouble. After thanking Glasses Slime for the gift, Kou suddenly wondered what a spirit was. Spirits were beings born from a person's emotions. Although they might be imperceptible, they constantly watched over everyone. Sometime later, Kou met Iris inside the house and asked how the city was faring. Iris was pleased to inform Kou that everything was proceeding smoothly and according to plan. When Iris inquired about Kou's day with Glasses Slime, he told her about what he had obtained from the vault, items that would be useful in the battle against the Black Dragon. Iris, who had a worried expression, confessed to Kou why she had been searching for the ruins of the ancient civilization. Iris was looking for the Dragonfolk's lost treasure, the Dragon God's shield. Kou was surprised to hear that Iris was searching for the shield, and he promptly offered to return it to her. However, before Kou retrieved the shield from his item box, Iris stopped him and asked if he could restore the shield. Kou explained that, for the time being, it was impossible, as Glasses Slime had informed him that he needed the Dragon God's ruby to restore the shield. Without hesitation, Iris handed Kou the Dragon God's ruby. After placing the ruby inside the item box, Kou focused on trying to restore the Dragon God's shield. After some time, Kou successfully restored the shield, which left Iris amazed. Seeing Kou's disappointed expression, Iris asked if there was something wrong. Kou explained that while the shield was fully restored, he couldn't wield it. To use the shield, the user needed the skill called Dragon God's Shrine Maiden. Iris then mentioned that it was not a problem, which initially confused Kou. Iris then confessed that she possessed the Dragon God's Shrine Maiden skill. According to ancient Dragonkin folklore, a girl with the Dragon God's Shrine Maiden skill is born every several hundred years. The Dragon God's Shrine Maiden has two missions: to find the Dragon God's shield and deliver the Dragon God's ruby to the transferer. All the Shrine Maidens from the past until now had failed to carry out their mission. However now, Iris has become the first one to accomplish both missions. Kou had his suspicions about what was happening. Supposedly, only one door should have opened, but instead, all the doors opened. Coincidentally, Iris had the one thing that Kou needed to restore the shield. Kou felt as though someone had arranged everything for him. Night came and Kou rested inside the Silent Moon Hotel. Kou returned to Anan to report to the guild and was told by Guildmaster Zeton to rest up so that Kou would be prepared for the fight. Kou couldn't sit still as the day before the fight was nerve-wracking for him. Kou then heard a knock on his door, and when he opened it, Melia was there asking if Kou could spare a small amount of time with her. Melia apologized for disturbing Kou late at night as she wished to discuss something important with him. Melia wanted to confirm with Kou if he and Iris would be fighting the Black Dragon alone. Kou confirmed it to Melia and explained that while they were fighting the Black Dragon, the other adventurers would be protecting the townsfolk. For that purpose, Kou went to retrieve something from the vault. Melia understood how dangerous the situation was. She then gave Kou a ring which he immediately noticed had an inscription on it. After reading what was inscribed on the ring, Kou still couldn't understand its meaning. Melia was surprised to hear that Kou was able to read the inscription. Melia then informed Kou that it was the Ring of the Spirits. The ring had been given to her by a relative's grandfather, and was said to be given to the one who would challenge the dragon if they should appear. Suddenly, the full assist established a connection to the Ring of Spirits. Due to Kou meeting the special requirements, he was able to unlock the skill called Material Transmutation. Melia was worried when Kou acted strangely after receiving the ring. She asked what had happened and if Kou had caught a curse from the ring. Melia was surprised when Kou mentioned that he did not catch a curse but rather gained another skill. She had always thought that skills were something people were born with. But since Kou gained a skill, it put Melia at ease as it meant that the ring was intended for Kou. Melia felt relieved as she was able to return the ring to the right person, which was half the reason she had joined the guild. When Kou asked if Melia was now planning to resign, she responded that she wouldn't, as she would remain faithful to her newfound success. Melia added that she always enjoyed watching Kou achieve new feats, and knew that he would be able to defeat the Black Dragon and the Stampede. The two ended their conversation, as they were now very tired. The next day came, and Kou tested out the new skill he had gained after obtaining the ring. Kou was able to create higher quality materials from materials of the same kind. With the 20 Fenrir furs he had, Kou was certain that a recipe would pop up. After crafting new items from the Fenrir's fur, Kou was now prepared for the fight. He also performed maintenance on all the equipment he would use in the upcoming battle. Beyond that, Kou would have to give his best. In the underground city, the helper slimes welcomed the humans who had taken shelter there. After greeting the people who had taken shelter in the underground city, Kou informed them that living quarters had been prepared, and they just had to follow the directions of the guild staff to enter their residences. The people immediately recognized Kou as the Bear Killer, and some remembered him from his work during city quests. They all felt relieved after seeing Kou. Melia went to Kou and informed him of news from the scouting party, saying that the monsters had started to burst out north of the Phatos Mountains. Realizing that the stampede had started, Iris asked how much of the city had been evacuated. Melia gave unfortunate news that they were only at 70%, and they had already moved up the schedule. Kou understood that the rest of the evacuation might not make it in time. Melia, not wanting to ask for a favor, asked Kou if they could start the counterattack now. With smiles on their faces, Kou and Iris reassured Melia that they would do the counterattack immediately before heading toward the stampede. Kou and Iris arrived at their preferred location between the mountains and Anan. Kou then summoned his trump card, which surprised Iris. After the destroyer greeted Kou and Iris, it noticed a reading and asked if there was a stampede. When Kou asked if the destroyer could handle the stampede, it reassured Kou that with his command, it would take care of the stampede. Kou and Iris then prepared themselves as they saw the stampede approaching. The destroyer then informed Kou that the ultra-high output magic railgun had been energized and was only waiting for Kou's command. Pointing his finger toward the sea of monsters, Kou gave the signal to the destroyer to mow down the monsters. With one shot from the destroyer, it was able to kill a large number of monsters in the middle. Iris was astounded by the destructive power displayed by Kou's trump card. She realized that if Kou were to get serious, he could easily destroy one or even two civilizations. Kou had already reached level 71 and wondered if he would still gain experience, even if the Golem Destroyer defeated the Stampede. While the Destroyer was cooling down the ultra-high magic railgun, Kou and Iris took the opportunity to showcase their skills. Iris then suggested a competition to see who could defeat as many monsters as possible, with the loser treating the winner to dinner. Kou agreed and assured Iris that he would take the bet seriously. Confronting the stampede head-on was a perfect opportunity for Kou to test the Fenrir coat's abilities. When Kou activated the skill called Grace of Swiftness, he moved so quickly that everything around him seemed to slow down. In just a couple of seconds, Kou had reached the stampede and began taking out the monsters single-handedly. When the Grace of Swiftness skill finally ended, Kou realized that it took 2 seconds to reach the stampede after activation, displaying incredible acceleration but costing nearly 6 MP. Kou had to be cautious when using the skill as it drained more MP than he had expected. When the black spider saw Kou, it was terrified and tried to run away. However, Kou was determined not to let any monsters escape and used the magic sword's ability to defeat the creature. Kou's level increased once more, reaching a remarkable figure. He realized that the more magic he channeled into the magic sword, the greater its range and power. As Kou attempted to use the sword's ability again at full power, he noticed the magic sword trembling, which left him wondering what was wrong. Kou was then informed that the Black Dragon's resurrection had been detected, and the Dragon Slayer S+ would begin activating. Kou understood that the real battle was about to begin. Meanwhile, Iris was handling a pack of lone wolves surrounding her. Using the Dragon God's barrier, Iris was able to defend against and attack the never-ending stream of monsters. However, Iris grew tired as the monsters kept coming without an end in sight. She was surprised when Kou helped her by eliminating some of the monsters, and he apologized for taking her kill. Kou then informed Iris that there was an emergency and the Black Dragon was approaching. Iris was taken aback by the news. The destroyer called out to Kou and offered to clean up the remaining monsters, instructing Kou and Iris to focus on the Black Dragon. Iris's fear dissipated and she chuckled as she thanked the destroyer for the encouragement. Kou then checked his auto-mapping to find the Black Dragon's coordinates. As Kou and Iris prepared to face the Black Dragon, they were taken by surprise when a black sphere appeared in front of them. The black sphere eventually cracked open, revealing an extremely weakened Black Dragon. When the Black Dragon saw Kou and Iris, it roared so loudly that it momentarily immobilized them. After confirming that Iris was unharmed, Kou felt relieved. According to the appraisal, normal attacks would be ineffective against the dragon's cursed scales. Only the dragon-slaying magic sword could defeat the Black Dragon. Kou realized how fortunate he was to have found the dragon-slaying magic sword in the vault, as without it, he might have been running away with his tail between his legs. Both Iris and Kou prepared themselves as they were about to test their weapons. The Black Dragon was far too high in the sky, and Kou realized that he wouldn't be able to hit it directly. Kou then decided to use the dragon-slaying magic sword's ability. With his powered attack, Kou managed to injure the dragon's chest. While he knew it wasn't a mortal wound, it wasn't a superficial injury either. Now more confident in dealing with the Black Dragon, Kou was surprised as the dragon had already charged up an attack. Iris stepped in front of Kou and, using the Dragon God's shield's ability, successfully deflected the Black Dragon's attack. Now enraged, the Black Dragon ascended into the sky and dived straight toward Iris and Kou. When Iris used the Dragon God's shield's ability again, they were surprised to find that the shield couldn't withstand the Black Dragon's attack any longer. Kou utilized the God of Speed's blessing to grab Iris and move them out of harm's way. After receiving thanks from Iris, Kou planned to subdue the Black Dragon first using the Black Spider's thread. The Black Dragon plummeted from the sky as Kou successfully managed to subdue it. Curious if they had already defeated the Black Dragon, Kou cautioned Iris to stay alert, as the Black Dragon might break free at any moment. Kou noticed that his MP had already dropped by around 40% and decided to put all of his MP into a single attack. After releasing the dragon-slaying magic sword's ability, the Black Dragon also unleashed its charged-up attack, causing a massive explosion. Kou's vision was obscured by the smoke, and he was surprised and relieved to find that Iris was already in front of him, ready to block any incoming attack. They then wondered about the Black Dragon's fate after the exchange of blasts. Kou hoped that the Black Dragon monster had perished after their exchange of blows. Suddenly, the dragon-slaying magic sword and Dragon God's shield trembled. Within the thick smoke, gleaming eyes appeared. The Black Dragon roared, dispelling the smoke and revealing that it was still ready to fight. The dragon immediately soared overhead, and Kou was astonished to see the sky painted black. He then knelt to the ground, feeling dizzy. After checking his stats, he immediately noticed that his MP was depleting. Kou was then informed that the Black Dragon of Extinction had activated Darkfield, a skill that absorbed the MP of every living being within a 2-kilometer radius. Kou realized they were in a dire situation since the skill overpowered his MP regeneration, making it impossible to retreat using the God of Speed's blessing. He would be at a disadvantage if the fight dragged on. With no other options left, Kou used every last bit of his MP and channeled it all into his magic sword. Using the God of War Sever, Kou unleashed the attack upon the Black Dragon. Kou knew that if his attack failed, he was done for. When Kou's attack clashed with the Black Dragon's shield, he managed to crack it and eventually break the barrier. However, his attack had depleted and was only sufficient to break the barrier, but not reach the black dragon. The black dragon roared in the sky as it initiated its counterattack by shooting flames at Kou. Coming to his aid was Iris, who reminded Kou that she had promised to protect him with her life. Iris then summoned the god of dragon's shield, but the barrier was easily destroyed. Seeing that they were on the brink of defeat, Kou asked himself if this was where he would die. Kou then reminisced about his previous life and the new life he had built in the unfamiliar world. Although he was a stranger in this new world, he had been welcomed with open arms. Kou refused to lose the people he cherished and to die at the hands of the black dragon. He then noticed a gleaming light emanating from the ring that Melia had given him, the Ring of the Spirits. The full assist system informed Kou that all conditions had been fulfilled and the Ring of the Spirits was now temporarily activated. Kou, feeling re-energized, noticed that his MP had risen above its maximum capacity. Still unsure of what had just happened, Kou seized the opportunity and didn't waste the second chance given to him. With his full power, Kou launched another attack at the Black Dragon. This time, both the Black Dragon and Kou's attacks clashed. As Kou screamed with all his might, he overpowered the Black Dragon and endured its powerful attack. As the Black Dragon plummeted from the sky and landed on the ground, it attempted one last attack. Kou immediately recognized the Black Dragon's scheme and once again used the magic sword's ability to permanently vanquish the Black Dragon. With the Black Dragon's body severed in half, a panting Kou knew that he had finally achieved victory over the calamity. A distant hymn, a time when the Black Dragon scorched the surface to ash while the ancient survivors were constructing the underground city. For 3 nights and 3 days, the prayers they offered ascended and became a spirit. The spirit couldn't contend with the Black Dragon, but in the distant future, a transferer would appear to aid them in their battle. The spirits of the past extended their deepest gratitude to Kou, who had defeated the calamity. Days after defeating the Black Dragon, a victory celebration was held. Zitan thanked Iris and Kou for saving them from the Black Dragon. Everyone in the town cheered and celebrated heartily. Toward the end of the party, Chrome met with Kou and praised him for his achievements. Chrome noted that many coincidences had helped Kou along the way, such as finding the underground city, the magic sword, the dragon god's shield, and the Ring of the Spirits. Kou was concerned about the thought of missing even one of those coincidences. Chrome reminded Kou of what he had told him before. Those who can handle a good hand well are dealt even better hands. After praising and encouraging Kou, Chrome left, looking forward to hearing Kou's stories. Kou found Chrome's words encouraging and full of wisdom. He realized that if he had heard such words back in Japan, he might not have understood them at all. The following day, Kou met with Iris in front of the fountain. Kou was mesmerized by Iris, who was dressed beautifully in his eyes. In a white dress, Iris seemed like a completely different person. The two entered a restaurant and enjoyed a delicious meal. Iris remembered that their discussion about the ancient civilization had only happened because they ate at the same restaurant, leading to the evacuation of the town of Onan. Iris shared her fear of facing the Black Dragon and the stampede, expressing her desire not to confront such monsters again. Kou revealed that he had gained a new skill called Calamity Summon after defeating the Black Dragon. This skill allowed the user to summon and command a subjugated Calamity Beast by consuming MP. Iris jokingly wondered if Kou was the real Calamity. Kou mentioned meeting Melia, who was returning to the guild headquarters in the royal capital. They might receive awards for the Black Dragon subjugation. Iris reflected on her life since leaving her country 5 years ago. She confessed to being treated coldly in the Dragonfolk nation, primarily due to her twin sister Ferris, who also possessed the Dragon God's Shrine Maiden skill. Ferris had the additional ability of premonition, accurate more than 90% of the time. Ferris had predicted numerous disasters in the past and became a Shrine Maiden at the age of 6. Iris and Ferris were trained as Shrine Maidens at the temple, with Iris often treated as a backup. When Iris was 15, the temple was attacked by monsters, and Ferris was killed during the incident. A Shrine Maiden's duty was to find the Dragon God's shield and give the ruby to the transferer. Iris set out with 3 guards once she turned 16, but after 3 days, both the journey's funds and her guards disappeared, which deeply affected Iris. Iris expressed her gratitude to Kou for enabling her to fulfill her duties and show her face to that girl. Kou asked about her plans now that her role as a Shrine Maiden was over, and if she intended to return to her hometown. Iris shared her desire to hold back from going home if possible and asked if she could accompany Kou on his adventures. Kou welcomed her company, and Iris was relieved that she had found someone to rely on and was excited to journey with him. As they were about to head home after their conversation, Iris, feeling embarrassed, asked Kou to forget their earlier conversation, attributing it to the influence of alcohol. The two enjoyed the night and planned to find another place to have another drink. Later on, Kou was enjoying his day, resting in a dense forest when he was called out by Iris. She asked if he would like to check the mushrooms growing by the waterside. As they headed to the waterside, Kou expressed his gratitude to Iris for assisting him with his quest. Kou then suggested that once they returned to the guild, they should consider forming a party since they had been working together quite a bit. Unfortunately, they couldn't form a party if the rank difference exceeded 3 ranks. Iris reassured Kou, informing him that there was no need to rush. He would receive an invitation letter from the guild soon, and with that, he could take a promotion exam. However, Iris doubted whether the guild would provide an examination for Kou solely based on his achievements. Nonetheless, they both promised to form a party when the opportunity arose. Kou noticed an object in the sky and became curious, wondering if it was a monster. Iris explained that they were, in fact, monsters known as flying mushrooms. They were harmless and would quickly flee upon spotting anyone. Kou became intrigued when he learned that eating one would enable him to float. He planned to obtain some for his creation magic. Using the Godspeed blessing, Kou managed to collect 56 flying mushrooms in just 2 seconds. After gathering the flying mushrooms, the two continued to collect materials, and by the time they returned to Annan, it was already dawn. While walking through the streets, a little girl approached Kou, asking to shake his hand as she was a big fan. Kou was pleasantly surprised and agreed to her request. Suddenly, he found himself surrounded by city dwellers complimenting him and inviting him to visit their shops from time to time. Upon arriving at the guild, Milia welcomed Kou and Iris. She informed them that they had received an invitation letter from the Adventurers Guild, specifying the date for the award ceremony and the arrangement of their trip by the Scarlet Company. Milia also asked them to visit the Scarlet Company's office when they were available. When Iris inquired whether Milia would attend the award ceremony, she replied that she would, but she had many responsibilities at the branch and expected to meet them at the ceremony. With exciting news ahead, Kou couldn't wait to visit the royal capital. While enjoying the beautiful moonlight, Kou decided to test the items he had created before going to bed. The first item was a ring made from the Black Dragon's corpse called the Ring of the Flame Emperor Dragon. This ring enhanced the wearer's aptitude for flame magic and could only be equipped by Kou. He activated the ring's ability known as Flame Successor. Kou realized that something else had been installed in the ring. He understood that not everyone in the world could use magic. They needed a skill corresponding to the attribute. Flame Emperor represented the highest tier of flame magic, and only Kou could use it while wearing the Ring of the Flame Emperor Dragon. Kou tested his flame arrow on a tree and was pleased with its effectiveness, as it destroyed the tree with a single arrow, leaving everything else untouched. Curious if he could reverse the attack for wider damage, Kou selected a cluster of grass 30 meters away. He decided to incinerate everything within a 10-meter radius. After casting the spell, Kou was amazed at its precision as it only burned what he intended. Then he heard a noise behind him and was surprised to find a group of punch rabbits surrounding him, ready to attack. Seeing the punch rabbits already in midair and about to attack, Kou was delighted as they were perfect test subjects for his new ability. He unleashed multiple fire arrows, defeating them all with a single hit, aiming precisely for their hearts. After taking out the punch rabbits, Kou leveled up again, reaching level 92. Upon checking his status, he noticed that everything was out of proportion. Kou tested the items he had created from the flying mushrooms and moist mushrooms. After drinking the flying potion, Kou found it delicious, with a taste reminiscent of refined Japanese sake. He realized he was floating and experimented with increasing his altitude, gazing up at the night sky in wonder. After trying various methods of flying, he thoroughly enjoyed his time in the sky until the effects wore off. It was already past midnight when Kou returned to the Tranquil Moon Pavilion. There, he developed a new recipe and crafted a shirt with temperature control. He put on the shirt and ended his night with a contented smile. The next day, Iris and Kou returned to the underground city, still amazed by the sights even though they had been there many times before. They were greeted by the helper slimes. However, the slimes were surprised when Kou informed them that he would be leaving. Kou explained that both he and Iris were planning to leave Annan in the near future and wouldn't be returning to the underground city for a while. The helper slimes felt lonely already and hoped that Kou would return one day soon. One helper slime wanted to accompany Kou, but it couldn't leave the underground city. Kou was then informed that by rewriting the main system of the underground city, he could bring one helper slime with them above the guild. It asked Kou if he would like to rewrite the system. Kou agreed to rewrite the main system, which caused one of the helper slimes to glow. Feeling warmth inside, the helper slime was curious about what was happening to it. Kou then explained that he was rewriting the system, and once it was done, the helper slime would be able to go outside. Overjoyed at the prospect of accompanying Kou, the helper slimes expressed their excitement, and one of them named itself Accompany Slime. The system then asked Kou to name the slime that would accompany him. After some thought, and with Iris's suggestion to use the race name, Kou chose the name Surara for the helper slime. Upon hearing its name, Surara jumped for joy. Suddenly, Surara became tired and fell asleep. Kou guessed that this was because the system rewrite was in progress, and that Surara might be akin to a computer update that required a reboot. The other slimes decided to put Surara to bed. However, one slime slipped and mentioned that it had a present for Kou. It explained that since Kou was going on a journey soon, they had some valuable items stored in the underground city's warehouse that they wanted Kou to see. Kou and Iris were surprised to find carriages as the gifts. These carriages were relics from an ancient civilization, and each had unique interiors. The first carriage contained a kitchen, the next had 2 comfortable beds, and the last one featured a second floor. The helper slime hoped that Kou would use his creation magic to transform the carriages into a magnificent one. Kou agreed with the idea and successfully created a grand cabin by using the carriages as material. The result was astonishingly large. The full assist system then informed Kou that his creation skill had reached rank 16, and a new function expansion had been added. In the past, Kou could only use items from the item box for creation, but now he could use items outside the item box as long as he touched them. The 3 of them explored the inside of the grand cabin, marveled at the living room, checked the dining room, kitchen, 2 bedrooms on the second floor, and even a toilet with a bathtub. Kou was pleased that they could use the carriage as their home. When the helper slime asked how they would move the carriage, Iris and Kou were both curious, as the carriage was quite heavy and would likely require horses or more. Kou smiled as he installed wheels underneath the grand cabin. Kou summoned the destroyer and requested its assistance. Iris already had a suspicion about Kou's plan and was proven right when Kou asked the destroyer to pull the carriage during their journey, as it was too large for them to move manually. The destroyer agreed to Kou's request, and the full assist system proposed the idea of combining the destroyer and the grand cabin. Kou agreed to the combination. The fusion process resulted in the creation of the Grand Destroyer Golem, a powerful golem enhanced by the addition of the grand cabin. Due to the golem combination's effects, the magic core's output was significantly improved. As they set out on their journey, Kou realized that the grand cabin moved swiftly, and they would reach their destination much faster than with a regular carriage. After discussing their travel schedule with the Scarlet Company, Kou and Iris decided to leisurely travel to Fort Port while exploring other cities along the way. 5 days before their departure, Kou took the time to express his gratitude to everyone who had helped him. He organized his house and the inn, restocked supplies and ingredients, all within 3 days. That night, Kou received a letter from Relic, who mentioned that the lord of the territory, Count Millard, was recuperating in the northeastern city of Surrey. Relic was curious about the lord's condition and planned to visit him. Kou was also curious about the situation, as the lord hadn't taken any action during the stampede and the Black Dragon's awakening. It appeared that Relic shared his curiosity and decided to inquire about the lord's well-being. Knowing that the lord took his responsibilities seriously, Kou was concerned that something might have happened to him. As he continued to read the letter, Relic congratulated Kou on the upcoming Royal Capital Awards ceremony and expressed his intent to attend the event. Kou wondered if he could meet Relic in Surrey while he was there. The next day, Kou went in search of a tourist guide and books for their journey. While wandering the city, he came across Melia on the street. When Melia tripped and accidentally dropped the books she was carrying, Kou swiftly caught all of them and asked if she was okay. Melia was surprised and puzzled to see Kou appear suddenly. Melia was grateful for Kou's help in carrying her books all the way to her home. When Melia wanted to return the favor, Kou initially refused, but since Melia was persistent, he just told her to think that she now owed him one. Since Melia was going to an award ceremony, Kou mentioned that she could repay the favor when they met in the capital. Melia could tell Kou about the restaurants she recommended or take him to the tourist spots. Melia agreed with Kou's suggestion and vowed that he wouldn't regret giving her the time to prepare, and Kou would look forward to it. On their departure day, the people of Annan cheered for Kou and Iris as they began their journey. Before heading out, Melia gave Kou and Iris flowers and wished them a safe journey. After saying goodbye to their friends, Kou and Iris departed from Annan. On the way to the capital, they were joined by Surara, who was very happy after receiving a gift from Iris. Kou was also pleased with the gift as it would help him differentiate Surara from a wild slime. Surara greeted the Golem Destroyer and asked for its name. The Destroyer was surprised to hear the question as Kou had never given it a name yet. Iris had some name suggestions, which Kou still found not fitting for the Destroyer. Kou eventually settled on the name Dest. After naming the destroyer Dest, they continued their journey to the capital. Their destination for the day was Tu, where they guessed the city was popular for its beef meat. Apparently there was a place called Meat Street, where many meat-based restaurants lined up. Kou wondered how long it had been since he could leisurely read a book. After becoming a full-fledged member of society, Kou became busy with everyday work. It was almost like a dream that he could spend time leisurely. Kou was then awakened by Surara as he fell asleep reading his book. She informed him that they were about to arrive and that she couldn't wait to see the town. Sarara was surprised and excited to see so many people, while Iris was doubtful that the people were welcoming them, as the atmosphere was too turbulent for that. As they disembarked from the grand cabin, Kou wondered if there was a monster near the city. A knight approached and asked if Kou was the dragon slayer. A man suddenly kneeled in front of Kou and Iris. He told Kou that he had been waiting for him for a long time and begged them to save their city. Seeing the man begging in front of them, Kou and Iris understood that there was indeed a crisis. After getting inside a room, the man introduced himself as Popolo, the branch manager of Tou's Adventurers Guild. When Kou asked what had happened, Popolo explained that an hour ago, a dangerous S+ rank monster called Devil Trent had appeared in the northwestern Second Plains. Once the monster started rampaging, it could destroy Tou in less than half a day. Due to its advanced regeneration ability, it was a very difficult monster to subjugate. Popolo asked for assistance from a traveling priest to stall the Devil Trent. However, they still hadn't been able to evacuate the residents or organize a subjugation force because it happened so suddenly. Since Popolo was aware of Kou's achievements, he immediately begged for his help and asked for his powers to defeat the Devil Trent. After a few moments of thinking, Kou agreed to Popolo's request. Kou then corrected Popolo's knowledge of him defeating the Black Dragon by himself. He had defeated the Black Dragon alongside Iris, which Popolo understood right away. Kou and Iris took the grand cabin and immediately headed to the location of the Devil Trent. After explaining to Sarara the advantage of staying outside the carriage, Iris was grateful to Kou for clearing up the misinformation that Popolo had about the Black Dragon. After hearing that they were precious to him, Iris felt happy and energized as she enthusiastically told Kou to leave the defense to her. Sarara then pointed in the distance and informed Kou and Iris to look. Kou was immediately worried just by seeing the Devil Trent. Seeing the huge monster up close, Kou wondered what the shining chains were that surrounded the monster. Iris explained that it was an advanced holy magic spell to restrain the opponent. Kou knew that there weren't many magicians who could restrain a Devil Trent. He then wondered if it was the priest that Popolo had mentioned. As they got closer, the Devil Trent finally broke free from the holy chains. Iris pointed at the foot of the monster, where a lady had been casting the holy chains. Unfortunately, she had fainted and Kou assumed that she had run out of magic. Kou then asked Des to speed up and retrieve the priest. When Kou finally got close to the lady, he immediately recognized that the holy magic user was just a kid. The Devil Trent was about to halt Kou and the child, but luckily for them, Iris arrived just in time to save them using the Dragon God barrier. The barrier proved strong enough to hold off the Devil Trent. Sarara immediately approached Kou and assured him that she would take care of the little girl. Kou was surprised and bewildered upon seeing Sarara's growth. He had many questions but had to prioritize dealing with the Devil Trent. He asked Sarara to take the little girl to safety. Kou assisted Iris in battling the monster. He then inquired about Iris's well-being, to which she replied that she was better than ever, but still needed some rest. Kou then informed Des that they needed to put some distance between themselves and the Devil Trent, and that Des should retreat as fast as possible. After acknowledging the order, Des sped up and moved as far away from the Devil Trent as possible. The retreat gave Iris a chance to catch her breath. Seeing that they were now at a safe distance from the monster, Kou drew his magic sword and used its ability to sever one of the Devil Trent's leg. Kou's attack only further enraged the Devil Trent. The severed leg of the monster regrew within just a few seconds. Upon witnessing the monster's rapid regeneration ability, Iris and Kou were surprised. The Devil Trent began to shake, which Iris immediately sensed, and she warned Kou to be careful as the monster's branches were extending. The branches that sprouted from the Devil Trent were as fast as arrows. Kou saw the monster's attack as an opportunity to test his new skill on a stronger opponent. Using the fire arrow, Kou directed his ability to target all of the branches that were headed toward them. Observing Kou's new ability burning the branches like a firework, Iris couldn't help but be mesmerized by its beauty. She then asked Kou when he had the chance to learn how to use magic. Since Kou could now use fire magic, Iris speculated that things would become much easier for them moving forward. When Kou asked why that would be, Iris explained that there were two ways to defeat a Devil Trent. One involved a protracted battle of brute force, continuously attacking until its regenerative ability reached its limit. Kou then considered the idea of continuously using the God of War Slash from a distance, but that approach would take more time. Iris then explained the other way, a short-duration battle with fire magic. If Kou completely burned off the Devil Trent's head, the Devil Trent would die before it could regenerate. Iris recommended that Kou follow the second plan, and Kou agreed. As the longer the fight went on, the more likely an unforeseen event would occur. Kou was somewhat confused about where the Devil Trent's head was located. Iris instructed Kou to burn the entire upper face. Now knowing the target, Kou had to get closer to the Devil Trent since it was enormous. Kou then retrieved a pouch from the item box and revealed it to be the flying potion he had created. He explained to Iris that once he drank the potion, he could fly. Iris was no longer surprised after hearing what the potion could do. When Kou was about to approach the Devil Trent, He was stopped by Iris, who asked to go along with him. Iris then suggested that Kou focus on attacking, while she focused on defending. The straightforward plan would make things easier for both of them. Kou agreed with Iris's plan and told her to hold on tight. After drinking the flying potion, Kou's full assist asked if he wished to include Iris in the area of effect of the wind blessing. Iris was surprised, as it felt like a strange sensation for her, as if she was being lifted into the air. When Kou asked if she was afraid, she responded that she was fine since Kou was with her. Seeing that Iris trusted him greatly, Kou wanted to honor her trust. Kou then instructed Des to find a safe spot. Kou and Iris flew up into the sky, and as they approached the Devil Trent, they were surprised to see that the monster was now charging toward them. When the Devil Trent was about to strike them mid-air, Iris immediately cast the barrier to protect them. She then signaled Kou to counterattack. Kou didn't miss the opportunity he was given and cast a spell. Using all of his magical power, Kou launched a widespread fire arrow attack against the Devil Trent. The Devil Trent absorbed the full force of Kou's fire arrow, completely obliterating its head. Kou's final attack resulted in the total subjugation of the Devil Trent. Kou and Iris approached the little girl who had been battling the Devil Trent. Kou then noticed a crest on the girl's clothing that piqued his curiosity. Iris explained that it was the symbol of the god of war, a religion with the primary deity known as the Warden, the god of war. Iris speculated that the little girl might be a priestess of the god of war religion. Upon seeing the crest, Iris suddenly realized that the sword depicted on it bore a striking resemblance to Kou's own sword. Des then informed Kou that they were nearing the North Gate. A stranger inquired if Kou was the Dragon Slayer, to which Kou confirmed. Surrounded by a large crowd, Kou asked for an explanation. The man explained that they were adventurers who had wanted to help and act as decoys for Kou, although they arrived too late since Kou had already defeated the Devil Trent. The man expressed gratitude to Kou for saving the city and declared him the great benefactor of Tua. He directed the others to escort Kou back to the Adventurers Guild. Kou was escorted to the Adventurers Guild to report to Branchmaster Popolo about the defeat of the Devil Trent. Apparently, Popolo intended to inform the Adventurers Guild headquarters about Kou's achievements. Popolo was ecstatic that Kou had come to their city, emphasizing that without Kou, the city would have been in ruins. Popolo praised Kou for his humility, as he didn't seek all the credit for himself, a vital attribute for a hero. Later that night, Kou and Iris dined at the Round Cat restaurant. While enjoying their delicious meal, Kou overheard a neighboring table discussing how grateful they were to him for saving them from the Devil Trent. Despite feeling a bit embarrassed about being the subject of others' conversations, Kou found satisfaction in the sense of accomplishment it brought. After their satisfying dinner, Kou and Iris stayed at an inn called the Moon Viewing Pavilion for the night. While in the bath, Kou made plans for sightseeing the following day. The next morning, Kou woke up earlier than expected and decided to use his creation ability to work with the materials from the defeated Devil Trent. When Kou disassembled the materials from the Devil Trent, he was slightly disappointed that he couldn't come up with a new recipe. However, he realized he could use the dismantled materials for material alchemy. Kou noticed that the material from the Devil Trent had a name similar to the colossal tree from Norse mythology, frequently featured in anime and video games. While he couldn't create a recipe using the Yggdrasil branch material at that moment, he considered working on one later. After some time, Sarara finally woke up and, after greeting Kou, needed time to get ready. Curious about how a helper slime would prepare itself, Kou watched Sarara in the bathroom and ended up somewhat confused as Sarara complimented its own round shape. Later that day, Kou and Iris met up and exchanged greetings. They headed to the southern part of Toei to explore the wide, tranquil pasture. During their sightseeing, Sarara couldn't contain its amazement at the sight of various types of animals. They experienced sheep shearing and tried some ranch cheese. As they walked around the ranch, people began to recognize Kou as the Dragon Slayer, leading to an impromptu banquet. The day ended with the two watching the sun set. Kou marveled at the beauty of the place and its people, pleased with how he had protected the city and contributed to its progress. Later that night, Kou and Iris visited the guild to check on the priestess, but were informed that the girl had left a letter. In the letter, the girl explained that she was a traveling priestess who happened to be in Tu when she learned of the Devil Trent's appearance and volunteered to stop it. She promised to express her gratitude in the near future and signed her name as Lily Luna Lunaria. Kou considered it a remarkable coincidence given that he was also on a journey. After a satisfying meal, Kou and the others left Tu to continue their journey. Suddenly, Kou spotted a familiar face and asked Des to stop. The girl confirmed Kou's identity and introduced herself as Lily, expressing her gratitude for Kou's assistance against the Devil Trent. Kou was curious about how Lily had waited for him outside Tu. Lily explained that she possessed the ability of foresight and had dreamed of encountering Kou at that precise location and time. Kou observed that Lily was well-mannered and likely had a straightforward personality. Lily then inquired about Kou's transmigrator skill, as she had been instructed to ask him about it in her dream. Kou found it challenging to explain the skill but was willing to try. Lily confessed that she was also a shrine maiden for the god of war, and had something important to share with Kou. When Kou heard the phrase God of War's Shrine Maiden, he immediately thought of Iris. She possessed a skill known as Dragon God's Shrine Maiden, and had a mission to deliver the Dragon God's red jade to the Transmigrator. Kou speculated that Lily might have a similar mission. When Lily explained the role of the God of Shrine Maiden and its impact on the person who possessed it, Iris confirmed that Lily's description was accurate. Sorara then mentioned that an ancient scholar had once suggested that something incredible would happen if someone with this ability joined forces with the Dragon God's Shrine Maiden. When Kou inquired further, Sorara couldn't provide more details as it had no information beyond that. Lily explained that the God of War's Shrine Maiden had two missions. The first was to deliver a bow to the Transmigrator. When Kou noticed the emblem on the bow, Lily explained that the emblem represented the God of War and depicted three sacred weapons imbued with the power of the God of War, known as the Warden. These weapons included the magic sword Gram, the Yggdrasil bow, and the unmarked holy spear. The bow Lily had given to Kou was the Yggdrasil bow. Upon inspecting the bow, Kou noticed that it was a sealed calamity-slaying bow. He wondered if the seal would ever be lifted. Iris recalled that the Yggdrasil bow was traditionally enshrined in the Great Holy Land, and only seen at significant ceremonies held once every 50 years. She was curious if it was safe to take the bow with them. Lily reassured Iris that it was permissible since it was part of her mission, and she had full authority over the sacred weapon. Lily was delighted to have completed her first mission by giving the bow to Kou, and she mentioned that her second mission was to locate the magic sword Gram. She then asked Kou if he had any idea where to find it. Lily was astonished when Kou revealed the magic sword Gram to her. She could immediately sense its authenticity due to the immense divine energy it radiated. She hadn't expected that Kou was already in possession of the magic sword. Lily explained that she had only seen it in her dream when she handed over the bow. She then asked where Kou had found the magic sword. Kou told her that he had discovered it in an underground city near Annan, and inquired if he could keep the sword. Lily reassured Kou that he could indeed keep the magic sword. After Iris confirmed that Lily also possessed the ability of foresight, she felt a sense of sadness, as Lily shared the same ability as her deceased sister. When Sorara asked what Lily planned to do after completing her missions, she mentioned that she would have to protect the Transmigrator. She then asked if she could accompany Kou and Iris on their journey, to which her request was warmly accepted. After welcoming Lily into the group, they began preparing their lunch using souvenirs they had obtained the day before. Kou decided they would have beef stew, a choice influenced by his ability, Full Assist. Sorara and Iris were adept at cooking, but Kou quickly realized that cooking might be a new experience for Lily given her nervous demeanor. It was evident that the cooking skill wouldn't be of much help to Lily, as she had no prior cooking experience. After guiding Lily through the simple tasks of preparing the ingredients, they successfully prepared a delicious meal. The group was highly satisfied with their meal, especially Lily, for whom it was a first to enjoy such a delicious feast. When Kou asked if she wanted seconds, she hesitated initially but was reassured by Kou that she needed the food, especially since she was still growing. After their delightful meal, they enjoyed cleaning the utensils together. Lily found the simple tasks somewhat overwhelming, as back in her home she prioritized her missions as the God of War's Shrine Maiden. She apologized for her lack of knowledge about the ways of the world. While engaging in a pleasant conversation, Sorara was about to suggest that Lily join in a game when suddenly the ground began to shake. Dest then announced that an earthquake had occurred and that they needed to make an emergency stop. When everything became quiet and calm again, Iris expressed concern about the Zard Bridge, which they had just experienced a strong earthquake. Kou inquired about the bridge Iris mentioned, and she explained that it was called Zard Bridge, which appeared quite old, as it had been constructed a long time ago. She added that if anything had happened to the bridge, they would have to take a significant detour to the south, delaying their arrival in Surrey by a couple of weeks. Kou had been looking forward to relaxing in the hot springs at Surrey, but Destiny had other plans. Des then informed Kou that the bridge had been completely destroyed. The group found themselves in a challenging situation due to the broken bridge. Swimming across the river was not a viable option, as the current was too swift. Iris proposed using a flying potion to cross the river, a suggestion that Kou had already contemplated. However, he was concerned about the other individuals who depended on the bridge. Sorara then recommended that Kou utilize his creation magic to repair the bridge. Kou embraced the idea and was eager to give it a try. Thanks to his enhanced creation skill, he could now manipulate objects by touch. Kou was curious whether the necessary recipe would come to mind. After touching the remaining pieces of the broken bridge and employing his creation magic, Kou successfully reconstructed the bridge. He crafted a new Zard Bridge using the remnants of the collapsed one and the trunk of a devil trent. Remarkably, the new bridge was even sturdier than the previous one, resistant to aging and served as a secure crossing. Lily was astounded by Kou's abilities, as she had heard stories about transmigrators but hadn't anticipated that Kou possessed such powers. With everyone able to cross the bridge without detouring, they arrived in Surrier, but it was already dusk. At the Surrier guard station, the guard expressed his deep gratitude to Kou for restoring the damaged Zard bridge and believed that Count Millard would reward Kou handsomely after hearing the guard's report. Kou was taken aback that the matter had become more significant than he had initially thought. The guard explained that the bridge was a crucial transportation hub, and repairing it would typically require a substantial workforce. When Kou mentioned that the Count was in Surrier, the guard was surprised and asked Kou where he had acquired this information, to which Kou responded that a noble acquaintance had shared it in a letter. The guard understood and requested that Kou keep the Count's presence in town a secret, as the Count was there to recover from an illness. After collecting their statements, the guard welcomed Kou and the others to Surrier. Since they would be staying for some time, the guard recommended that they explore the local hot springs. He also mentioned an upcoming festival to celebrate the city's 300th anniversary, which excited the group as they saw the town buzzing with activity. Surrier had been built using the ruins of an ancient civilization 3 centuries ago, and Surara explained that there was an underground facility that produced hot springs, still operational to this day. Upon hearing Surara's explanation, Kou finally understood why the city was known as the Hot Springs City. The group then enjoyed a delightful meal, reminiscent of French cuisine, specifically pot-au-feu. They indulged in 6 servings of hotep and retired to their inn satisfied. While they relaxed in the hot springs, they found themselves simultaneously rejuvenated, as expected from Surrier's top-class hot spring. Judging by Iris's voice from the other side, Kou could tell they were having a similar experience. Before ending the night, Kou encouraged everyone to enjoy the festival the following day. The next day, as they explored the city, Iris noticed that many hotep stalls were being set up. With a diverse menu, Kou asked Lily which hotep she preferred. Lily appeared momentarily distracted and quickly apologized. When Kou inquired about her state, she confessed that her foresight had been triggered the previous day, and the information was fragmented. She went on to describe a dream in which Kou received a trumpet in a crowded place. The scene then shifted to a fountain where Kou extracted a shiny green branch from his item box. Kou immediately connected the dream to the Yggdrasil branch. However, for now, he had no recipes that required a Yggdrasil branch as a material, leaving him pondering its potential use. Lily continued her description, stating that the dream concluded with them leaving Surrier and heading northwest, which puzzled Kou as the fort port was in the northeast, quite the opposite direction. To the northwest, there were only large mountains and forests, sparking Kou's curiosity about their purpose in such a location. Surara explained that an ancient scholar had once shared that precognition had its limits. The future of individuals with great power like Kou was subject to change, making events involving them hazy and uncertain. Since Lily's foresight had yet to fail, Kou speculated that the dream represented a constrained future. Others speculated that Kou would receive a trumpet from someone. They resumed enjoying the festival, indulging in a variety of delectable foods. After consuming so much food, Surara ended up feeling unwell, but Kou quickly administered an antidote potion. The guard they had met before invited them to participate in a lottery game called Numbers, an ancient civilization game where acquiring 5 matching numbers vertically, horizontally, or diagonally yielded a prize. The first prize was a travel ticket to the royal capital, departing from the fort port on a luxury cruise ship. Upon seeing a trumpet placed under the first prize, the group assumed it was the second prize and eagerly awaited to see if Lily's foresight would come true. The guard who had invited Kou was now dressed in a clown costume and was hosting an ancient lottery game. He began by announcing the number 29 as the first draw. Kou was delighted to see this exact number on his card, but was taken aback when the card itself bore a hole. The guard then explained that this was his unique skill known as Magic Trick, and he had infused everyone's cards with it. During the game, the numbers could be swapped or rewritten. The guard encouraged all participants not to give up and enjoy the game until the end. Kou now understood the game better. In the second half of a bingo game, players tended to fall into 2 groups: those who relished the excitement of numerous possibilities, and those more inclined to give up. Kou found this setting intriguing. The guard then explained that if any participant had only 1 number left to win, they had to call out "Reach." Observing that he needed just 1 more number, Kou immediately called out "Reach." To his surprise, a female voice from the back also exclaimed "Reach." Kou recognized the lady and informed everyone that she was a female adventurer with whom he had undertaken quests in the city of Annan. After exchanging greetings, they resumed the game. When the guard called out the number 87, Kou felt a little disappointed since it was very close to the number he needed. It seemed odd that his number suddenly changed, supposedly ensuring his victory. Unexpectedly, Cal also achieved first place. The guard congratulated both participants as they had won simultaneously. Since there was only 1 first prize and 1 second prize, Kou immediately understood Lily's foresight foresight and requested the second prize. Cal was surprised by Kou's decision and asked if he was sure. Kou mentioned that they had intended to go to the royal capital from the start. Cal was deeply appreciative of Kou for allowing her to claim the first prize. For the second prize presentation, the guard asked Kou to extend his hand. Suddenly, a trumpet materialized in Kou's hands with an explosion. While Kou was content with his prize, the others were disappointed for not winning anything in the game. Cal still felt uncertain about her victory, as it seemed like she had coerced Kou into something he didn't desire. However, Kou reassured her that it was all right, as they were headed to the royal capital. Kou then astonished everyone with his hidden talent of playing the trumpet. Everyone was captivated by the melody Kou produced with the trumpet. Sarara then mentioned that the song was Sasan's Slumber. An ancient musician had told her that it was a complex piece to play. His companions were amazed by Kou's talent. Little did they know it was due to Kou's ability, Full Assist, which could accomplish anything. After Kou's performance, Cal left the group since she had promised her grandmother to have lunch with her. Suddenly, an elderly man approached Kou and inquired if he was the Dragon Slayer. He introduced himself as Randolph D. Mallard, the Lord of Mallard Territory. Kou quickly noticed that the Lord was in poor health. The Lord wished to personally congratulate and thank Kou for his achievements and apologized for his frail appearance. Due to a major flood in the north about 4 months ago, the Lord had been undergoing a hot spring treatment in Surierto to heal the injuries but was still feeling unwell. The Lord told Kou that if he ever needed help, he could always reach out, as he believed in repaying favors. As they were about to shake hands, the Lord suddenly had a severe coughing fit and passed out. Kou noticed a dark mist emerging from the Lord's body, heading towards him, but it was blocked. He learned that a high-level curse had been detected and was nullified by a transmigrator. Iris sensed that it was a contagious curse inflicted by a monster. Kou was curious as there was no prior information about this curse. After the initial analysis, it was determined that it was the Curse of the Black Death, and that using a Yggdrasil branch was recommended to suppress it. Kou retrieved a Yggdrasil branch from his item box and pointed it towards the Lord, causing the black mist to dissipate. When asked by Lily if the curse had been lifted, Kou explained that it was temporarily suppressed and no longer contagious. They left the square and were guided to the Shadow Cow Pavilion by the guard. With the cooperation of the inn's owner, they managed to get the Lord into bed. The guard inquired about the Lord's condition. Kou explained that the Lord was under the influence of a curse known as the Curse of the Black Death. This curse triggered when the afflicted visited crowded places and would result in death within 3 hours. This curse was a special power of a monster known as the Elder Lich. 4 months ago, during a severe flood in the north, Count Maillard encountered a skeleton monster. However, he couldn't subdue it, and just before the skeleton monster departed, it pointed at the Count and spoke rapidly in an unpronounceable language. The guards then suspected that the Count had been cursed with the Curse of the Black Death. Lily offered to help break the curse as she had mastered the highest level of light magic. As Lily began casting the spell to cleanse the Count from the curse, she couldn't believe that her abilities were insufficient to remove the curse from his body. When Kou asked about the spell Lily had used, she explained that it was the most potent of all light spells, and it was believed to be capable of lifting any curse. While wondering if the curse was a type that couldn't be lifted, Kou received a notification that the analysis of the Curse of the Black Death was complete. Kou now understood the curse and informed everyone that they needed to eliminate the problem at its source by defeating the Elder Lich, who had cast the curse on the Count. They agreed with the plan, but another problem remained. They had no information about the location of the Elder Lich, since there had been no reports of its appearance since the Great Flood. With no knowledge of the Elder Lich's whereabouts, Iris and Kou decided to use their auto-mapping skills to search for the Elder Lich. Kou quickly located the Elder Lich, who was currently at Mount Triss. The Count, who was barely conscious, asked if he was indeed cursed by the Elder Lich. He explained that due to the Great Flood, his family's knightly order was nearly wiped out. The territory's security had been entrusted to the Adventurers Guild, and it would take several years to rebuild it. The Count was concerned about his heir, and losing him would lead to chaos in the Maillard territory. The Count knew that he was asking a lot from Kou, but with no other options, he begged for Kou's help in defeating the Elder Lich. Kou couldn't ignore the Count's situation, and he accepted the Count's request. As the group headed to Mount Triss, Iris remembered that their current situation resembled what Lily's foresight had predicted. Iris praised Lily, who modestly attributed it to her skill. The group left their carriage, traversed the forest on foot, and arrived near the mountain. Kou felt a sense of déjà vu as their destination was inside a cliff. Kou immediately discovered a secret passage at the side of the cliff, surprising Lily with his ability to locate the hidden door. After explaining that they had encountered a similar experience in Annan, Kou noticed that the emblem etched on the door was different from the one in Annan. Lily recognized the emblem as that of the Calamity Cult, a pagan religion from ancient times that worshipped calamities as deities. 4,000 years ago, the cult had obstructed the preparations of an ancient civilization to confront a calamity. They wondered if what they had found was another stronghold of the Calamity cult. Kou thought that the Elder Lich had poor taste in choosing such a place to live. He wondered if the Elder Lich was originally a follower of the Calamity cult. Kou asked Sarara to unlock the door, and they discovered another door inside. Sarara was surprised when Kou could read the special symbols of the Calamity cult. When asked about the place, Sarara explained that it was one of the larger churches of the Calamity cult. According to Sarara, the cult had established suspicious facilities worldwide. Believers gathered in the worship center to perform rituals that praised calamities, and the passage to the center was a labyrinth filled with traps for intruders during the ritual. After hearing the facts from Sarara, Kou wondered about the nature of the cult's rituals. He reassured everyone that they wouldn't get lost in the labyrinth thanks to their auto-mapping skill, but it would still take some time to navigate it. Kou knew they couldn't afford to waste time, as the curse of the Black Death would activate again once the effect of the Yggdrasil branch wore off. They agreed with Iris's idea to use the auto-mapping search function to find the right path. They were surprised and puzzled when Kou summoned his wooden hammer, which had a very specific bonus but was of little use to him. However, he used the hammer to break through the labyrinth's walls. Observing the auto-mapping skill, they located the stairs leading to the second floor in the middle of the labyrinth. The others finally understood Kou's plan, to destroy the walls and create a shortcut to the stairs, saving them considerable time. In the next room, they encountered a ceiling trap activated by stepping on specific tiles. Kou drank a floating potion and skillfully navigated through the room to reach the next chamber. The following room was filled with magic lasers with 10 orichalcum turrets on each side. Once again, Kou easily passed through the room by destroying the laser cannons with the axes he created. They reached the final room on the second floor, which had an ominous atmosphere. Sarara explained that the room was under a high-level curse. Pouring magic into the crystal ball in the center could temporarily stop the curse, but someone had to continually supply magic, requiring a sacrifice. In a dangerous situation, Lily and Iris volunteered to sacrifice themselves to clear the room. Kou was grateful for their willingness but instructed them to wait as he would go himself. Lily recalled Kou's ability to repel the curse of the Black Death in Surrey. Kou reassured them, stating that curses don't affect transmigrators. When Kou reached the crystal ball and poured his magic into it, the crystal shattered under the strain of his power. The two were surprised and curious about the amount of magic Kou had used. After clearing the second floor, they moved forward, leading the group to a mysterious room. After ensuring the room was free of traps, Kou asked everyone to step back as he went first. They sensed an enemy to the left and found skeleton soldiers ready to attack. Using the skill Fire Arrow, Kou easily disposed of the skeletons. Relieved that the enemies were defeated, they were surprised when the skeletons were restored and attempted to attack Kou again but missed. Kou checked the information about the skeleton and found that it would regenerate repeatedly until it exhausted the dark power inside it. Pressed for time and still facing an immortal, Lily cast her holy light magic onto the skeletons, permanently wiping them out. Curious about the lack of resurrection, Lily explained that she used the highest level of light magic purification, capable of annihilating monsters or undead with regenerative abilities. Kou suggested he and Iris be the vanguards to buy time, while Lily used her magic to finish any monsters that appeared. Curious about its task, Kou instructed Sarara to be the rear guard, observing the entire battlefield and informing Kou of anything suspicious. The full assist ability informed Kou that data analysis about the skeleton soldier had been completed, and using the Yggdrasil branches it could use the force purification process. Kou didn't expect the Yggdrasil branch to have the capability to purify the undead by just bringing it with him and making contact with the undead. Seeing another batch of undead skeletons ahead, Kou wanted to try it out and instructed Iris to take the right side group while he handled the ones in front of them. After dodging the undead skeleton's attacks using the Yggdrasil branch, Kou defeated the skeleton with one move. He then helped Iris defeat the remaining skeleton. The group was pleased with the swift result. After obtaining the new weapon, they continued to follow the shortest route on the map to the stairs while purifying skeleton soldiers along the way. Kou was surprised that they didn't encounter any traps along the way, as they were now about to reach the last room after passing through the corridor that was just ahead of them. Iris mentioned that her skin was tingling and Lily sensed a high amount of evil energy. After being warned by Sarara that there might be a lot of undead waiting for them, Kou prepared himself but still wondered why there was no trap set in the area when the Elder Lich was just up ahead. When Kou tried to peek, he was surprised to see the room filled with undead skeletons. However, it was within his expectations that something terrible would be waiting for them since it was so easy walking towards the room. He then devised a plan and informed everyone. Kou would execute a surprise attack from the front and asked everyone to follow him after counting to 5. Iris finally understood Kou's plan, as he would use his ability, the god Speed Blessing X, to attack the undead skeletons at super speed. They initiated the plan, and with his swift movement, Kou defeated most of the skeletons in front of him. The remaining undead skeletons were taken care of by Lily herself. The group had finally conquered the 3rd floor and were now almost at the Elder Lich's location. The Elder Lich lurked in the deepest part of the labyrinth on the 4th floor. Knowing that it was a type of undead, it was natural to assume it had regenerative abilities. Since clear light was ineffective against it, there was a possibility that even holy lightning might not work. Kou wondered if forced purification would be effective. The full assist ability informed Kou that the purification process was prepared for each type of undead. To execute the forced purification process for the Elder Lich, an estimated 60 seconds of construction time would be required. Kou was disappointed that it would take 60 seconds for the forced purification to work. The full assist then mentioned to Kou that it was possible to shorten the construction time by using the ability Appraisal on the Elder Lich or by attacking it with Holy Lightning. Kou then mentioned to everyone that prolonging the battle would give them no merit and to use the same strategy as before. When they finally reached the room and saw the Elder Lich in the middle, Kou instructed Lily to cast Holy Lightning on the Elder Lich. After seeing that one attack from Lily was not enough, they prepared themselves for any counterattack. The Elder Lich then cast an ability called Dark Lightning, but it was blocked by Iris's barrier. Kou was then informed by the full assist that the Elder Lich analysis had been completed after the Holy Lightning had been used. The time required to build the forced purification process was now reduced to 24 seconds. Kou was pleased with the result and then followed it up by using Appraisal on the Elder Lich. Kou didn't expect that the Elder Lich was created from a calamity. There were words that piqued Kou's curiosity. However, he has to focus on defeating the Elder Lich as the required time has been reduced again, and was now less than 10 seconds. The Elder Lich then chanted a prayer asking for the Gluttony Dragon to give it strength. The group realized that the situation did not look good as they sensed a very strong evil aura. There were only 3 seconds left until the analysis was complete. Kou had to attack right away before something bad happened to them. Kou then instructed Iris to cast the barrier while he leaped towards the Elder Lich, pointing the Yggdrasil branch towards it. After evading the Elder Lich's swing, Kou was finally able to use the purification process against the Elder Lich. With all of his might, Kou made contact with the Elder Lich and finally defeated it. The group had finally subjugated the Elder Lich completely. The full assist then informed Kou that with the defeat of the Elder Lich, the curse of the Black Death had been lifted. With the acquisition of experience, Kou had reached level 99. Kou was grateful that everything went well thanks to the cooperation of Lily and Iris. Iris was glad that Surya would not become a ghost town as the Count's curse was lifted. Iris was still curious about how the Elder Lich was able to safely go to the 4th floor and didn't activate any traps. Kou had a vague idea and mentioned that the Elder Lich may have used space-time magic or something similar. They then noticed something on the ground and were curious if it was the Elder Lich's doing. Kou was still concerned about the explanation of the appraisal as it mentioned a gluttonous ritual. When Kou touched the ground, the full assist asked if Kou wished to analyze the magic circle. While the magic circle was being analyzed, Iris saw the magic circle glow and thought it was pretty while feeling somewhat warm coming from it. Sarara then mentioned that Sarara could access the facility's system from the altar. Sarara then tried to rewrite the ownership. While wondering if Sarara could take over the facility, Kou was notified that the analysis had been completed. Kou felt pain after knowing more about the rituals that took place in the room they were in. The believers of the Calamity cult first performed the ritual of the Immortal Soldier, which summoned the skeleton soldiers. After that, the believers sacrificed themselves to perform the ritual of the Immortal King, summoning the Elder Lich. The role of the skeleton soldiers was to defend the chapel, and the role of the Elder Lich was to carry out the third ritual, the Gluttonous Ritual. It was said that the Elder Lich had been going out to the surface once every few hundred years to collect sacrificial souls with the curse of the Black Death, and had been preparing for the Gluttonous Ritual, from 4,000 years ago all the way up to the present day. The Elder Lich that Kou and others just defeated was the same Elder Lich that was summoned long ago. The problem they were facing now was the Gluttonous Ritual. Apparently, the ritual was to summon an entity known as the Great Calamity. Curious about what the Great Calamity was about, Lily mentioned that she had heard before that there was a calamity that surpasses calamities, and wondered if it was the same Great Calamity. Kou then mentioned that the hollow Gluttony Dragon that was summoned by the Gluttonous Ritual was even more powerful than the Black Dragon. Iris and Lily couldn't believe that such a calamity was even more powerful than the calamity that they had defeated before. They were worried that if such a calamity were to appear on the surface, it would cause a big problem. When Lily asked if they managed to stop the ritual, Kou could only wonder if they did. Originally, the people of Surya would have died out and all their souls would have been sacrificed to the gluttonous dragon. However, they managed to stop that from happening. As Kou felt something ominous, the room began shaking. Lily was not feeling well as the earthquake started to become stronger. All of a sudden, the magic sword Graham manifested itself without Kou's instruction, and Iris's dragon god shield kept on vibrating. The group prepared themselves as they could only guess that there was something evil coming. Kou was then notified that the resurrection of the gluttony dragon had been detected and that it was coming. Kou then warned everyone that the gluttonous dragon was coming. Lily shivered, feeling as if her soul was being crushed, sensing a horrifying presence. Kou concurred with Lily when she suggested returning to the surface. Fortunately, Sarara had managed to change the facility's ownership and planned to use the transfer device to transport them to the surface. In a matter of seconds, they were teleported there. Perplexed, they noticed the dark sky despite it still being afternoon. Lily pointed out a floating object in the distance. When the sphere made contact with the ground, it exploded, causing Kou and Iris's weapons to tremble. The group was horrified, thinking they had halted the gluttonous ritual, only to realize they hadn't. As the calamity inside the sphere was released, they wondered if it was another dragon akin to the Black Dragon. The monster, named the Hollow Gluttony Dragon due to the interrupted ritual, took an incomplete form. Kou was relieved they prevented the calamity from fully manifesting, but the challenge now was defeating it. Knowing the calamity could destroy their surroundings, Kou resolved to act. The calamity roared and headed towards the city. Seeing the danger, Kou summoned Dest and asked everyone to board so they could pursue the calamity. When Sarara inquired if he would join them, Kou drank a floating potion and replied he would go ahead to stall the gluttony dragon. In an attempt to draw the gluttonous dragon's attention, Kou used the God of War slash, landing a hit successfully. As the dragon focused on him, numerous tentacles tried to strike him. Thankfully, his Godspeed blessing allowed him to dodge the fast attacks. Realizing the tentacles were more problematic than anticipated, Kou composed himself with about 80% of his magic power remaining. Using the God of War slash again, this time with 20% of his magic power, Kou landed a direct hit. He noticed something off with the dragon's blood, deeming its bodily fluids dangerous. Hoping to end the calamity's life from a distance, Kou kept his distance. Surprised by the regenerating tentacles, Kou raised his sword, annoyed by the calamity's insane regeneration. Planning to settle the fight, Kou prepared for another God of War slash, now using half of his magic power. Thinking his attack had succeeded, Kou later realized it had passed through the gluttonous dragon. Confused, the calamity seized the opportunity, launching all its tentacles towards Kou. Although caught off guard, Kou, using Godspeed blessing, managed to escape. However, this escape led to his magic power dwindling to 10%. Catching his breath, Kou was taken aback as the gluttonous dragon vanished before him. Too late, he realized the calamity was already behind him, ready to land a hit. Attempting to use Godspeed blessing again, Kou found himself unable to move, taking the gluttonous dragon's attack unprotected, causing intense pain. After taking a direct hit from the gluttonous dragon, Kou plummeted from the sky. Upon regaining consciousness, he realized he was in a dire situation. His black spider gauntlet lay shattered, and his magic sword Graham was thrown far away. Kou was puzzled about what had happened, as he was confident he had activated the Godspeed blessing. However, he felt like he was drowning in a muddy swamp, and his magic power had run out. The unfairness of the fight struck him. The gluttonous dragon could pass through Kou's attacks while still being able to attack him. Full Assist notified Kou that the analysis of the gluttonous dragon's unique ability was complete, revealing it to be spatial manipulation. The gluttonous dragon could cause various phenomena by interfering with the space around it, such as becoming translucent, slipping through enemy attacks, warping a short distance, or sealing an opponent's movement by fixing the space around it. Kou found this troublesome, knowing he stood no chance as long as the gluttonous dragon possessed spatial manipulation power. Fortunately, there was a limit to its effective range. Pressure mounted as the gluttonous dragon resumed its advance towards Surya. Kou wanted to protect Surya, but he couldn't win against the gluttonous dragon, and his magic power was depleted. If Kou retreated, it would have to be done immediately while the gluttonous dragon was focused on Surya. However, abandoning the city meant the death of many people. Remembering the people he had met and formed connections with, Kou didn't want them to be killed and would regret running away. Choosing to fight the calamity, Kou still had options left. He possessed unused items and skills that he could try one by one, hoping to find a way to break through spatial manipulation. No matter how injured he became, Kou vowed never to give up and defeat the gluttonous dragon. He noticed that his body was brimming with magic power, reminiscent of his battle against the Black Dragon when his MP exceeded the maximum and continued to increase. Holding the bow given by Lily, now infused with the Yggdrasil branch, Kou learned that the bow could be used at 20% output. Though uncertain if the bow was sufficient to defeat the gluttonous dragon, he discovered that using the Yggdrasil bow required the magic power of the God of War's Shrine Maiden. which would nullify the gluttonous dragon's spatial manipulation. Realizing he needed to join forces with Lily, Kou was about to look for her when Dest and the others arrived. After regrouping, Kou instructed Dest to pursue the gluttonous dragon as quickly as possible. Kou's companions were concerned about his glowing body and the broken gauntlet. Lily, while staring at Kou, was pleased to see that Kou had lifted the bow's seal, and mentioned understanding its usage from her experiences in foresight since childhood. Making things easier for Kou, he asked Lily to share her magic power. Lily, thanking Kou, expressed her willingness to give her life to him. Puzzled, Kou clarified that he only wanted Lily to share her magic power, not her life. Embarrassed, Lily immediately apologized, realizing she had misunderstood Kou. When Kou instructed Lily to draw the bow with him, she understood, having seen it in her dream. Combining their powers, Kou was notified that the Calamity Killer arrow had been summoned. The gluttonous dragon attempted a sneak attack, but Iris intervened to block it. Upon completing the arrow's charge, Lily signaled, and they released the arrow together. Their combined attack landed a direct hit on the gluttonous dragon, nullifying its spatial manipulation. The situation shifted in Kou's favor, and he planned to continue attacking until the calamity was vanquished. With his magic power still increasing, he decided to use the skill he obtained after defeating the Black Dragon, Calamity Summoning. This skill allowed him to summon and control defeated calamities. Kou summoned his previous foe, the Black Dragon of Ultimate Destruction, surprising Lily and Iris, who couldn't believe he could summon a calamity. Adding another variable to the fight, Kou turned it into a Calamity versus Calamity showdown. Iris was a little confused when the Black Dragon showed up, so she later asked Kou about what was happening. Kou responded that he was the one who had summoned the Black Dragon. He didn't expect that the day would come for him to fight alongside the Calamity Dragon that he had fought before. Brimming with magical power, Kou instructed the Black Dragon to burn the gluttonous dragon. After generating a considerable amount of energy, the Black Dragon released a powerful attack that caused the landscape to burn non-stop. Iris was still terrified as the Black Dragon burned down the whole place. Kou was pretty sure that the gluttonous dragon would be turned into dust if it couldn't avoid the attack from the Black Dragon. The severely injured gluttonous dragon tried to launch another attack and sent its tentacles onto the Black Dragon. However, it couldn't penetrate the Black Dragon's barrier. Kou noticed that the Black Dragon glanced at him, and he was then notified that all the conditions were met, and the Divine Technique was temporarily unlocked. The Anti-Calamity Divine Technique, Leviatine, could be used. Kou was not expecting his magic sword to manifest in front of him. He then heard Lily mention the magic sword, stating that it had its own will. While holding the magic sword, Kou didn't expect it to know that it was its turn, and warped in front of him. Smiling, Kou leaped forward as it called unto his magic sword. Flying beside the Black Dragon, Kou asked if it was ready to fight together. Kou then cast the spell onto the magic sword along with the Black Dragon's powers. While charging the skill, Kou was notified by his passive ability that the countdown for the Anti-Calamity Divine Technique, Leviatine, had started. The gluttonous dragon tried one more attack before Kou released the Leviatine. Fortunately for Kou, the countdown for the Divine Technique had just run out and he released it towards the gluttonous dragon, deflecting the Calamity's attack in the process. With one swing of his sword, Kou did so much damage and caused an explosion that wiped out not just the gluttonous dragon, but also the ground beneath the Calamity. Kou was very happy when he realized that he had finally achieved victory against the gluttonous dragon. Iris, Lily, and Sorara cheered as they had finally achieved a new feat and defeated another calamity. After landing, Kou felt very exhausted and was grateful to the being that helped him as he saw it fly away. Kou was not sure what the light was, but he knows for a fact that the light saved him again. Kou was then notified that he had reached level 108, and since he had reached a level above 100, Limit Break had been unlocked. Limit Break can temporarily raise Kou's magic capacity significantly. However, it has a cooldown time, so he can only use it once per day. Depending on how Kou uses the ability, he can greatly expand the range of strategies at his disposal. It was quite a useful technique. He then wondered if he could also summon the gluttonous dragon since he had already defeated it. Kou was then notified that the control sequence of the Hollow Gluttony Dragon had failed. It was presumed that the main body of the gluttonous dragon had escaped to the outside world. Therefore, it cannot be summoned with the Calamity Summoning. Kou was not expecting to hear the sentence outside of the world, as he immediately thought about his previous world. He guessed that it was possible since he was also from another world, but he got curious if the gluttonous dragon can freely jump between worlds at will. While contemplating the outside world, Kou also reflected on how rare it was for his ability Full Assist to fail. He was then notified that the removal of spatial manipulation from the Hollow Gluttonous Dragon was successful, and would now be acquired as a skill. Kou had not anticipated using the Gluttonous Dragon's spatial manipulation after Full Assist's previous failure. The skill could warp over short distances, render Kou invisible, and restrain enemies, a potent ability. Despite his initial disappointment, he felt happy after acquiring the skill. recognizing its potential benefits. Returning to the cabin, Kou informed everyone that he had finally defeated the gluttonous dragon. Iris followed up by asking him how he felt after defeating his second dragon. Kou simply responded to Iris that he was tired and wanted to go home and rest. While Iris understood Kou's exhausted state, she remained curious and asked about the sparkles she had seen on him. Kou was unsure, but Lily clarified that, according to their lore of the god of war, the soul was a golden light. Those lights might be the souls of those sacrificed to the gluttonous dragon. The souls, possibly freed after Kou defeated the Elder Lich and interrupted the ritual, might have lent their power in gratitude. Hearing Lily's explanation, Kou agreed that this might be the case. Back in Surrey, the group received a warm welcome from the now healthier Count Maillard. The Count expressed gratitude because without Kou and the others, the people of Surrey would have lost their loved ones. Kou humbly responded and provided a report on the matter, explaining the defeat of the Elder Lich in the basement and the halting of the ritual. However, the gluttonous dragon was resurrected in the process, but fortunately, it was also defeated. Kou acknowledged his luck, unsure of what would have happened if fate had shifted slightly. After expressing gratitude again, the Count assured Kou that he would never forget the favor and extended support for any future troubles. The next day, they received an increased reward from the Count and proceeded to report to the guild and attend to other matters. They completed all their business on the evening of the 6th day of their stay. Kou was exhausted, and the later task proved tougher than the battle with the gluttonous dragon. As they walked the streets, they encountered an old acquaintance, Cal. She mentioned heading to their inn and explained that she wanted to give them a cake as a token of gratitude for saving the city. Cal's parents owned a cake shop and she and her aunt had made the cake. She assured them it tasted good. Hearing about Kou defeating another dragon, Cal couldn't believe how strong he was. The girls discussed how Kou would eventually slay his third dragon, but Kou didn't like that idea, fearing the resurrection of more calamities. After handing out the cake, Cal bid farewell since her business was finished. Surara, now drooling, expressed a desire to eat the cake. Kou agreed and announced that they would be heading home to celebrate their success by eating the cake. The group enjoyed their night, indulging in a delicious cake paired with wine while watching fireworks in the dark. After finishing the cake, the group had a serious conversation. Iris still couldn't believe they had won against the gluttonous dragon, and Lily agreed, acknowledging the importance of Kou's help. Kou, humbled by his companion's words, emphasized that the victory was a group effort. Kou noticed Lily looking depressed and remembered her willingness to sacrifice her life. When asked about her troubles, Lily explained that, according to the lore of the God of War religion, the God of War Shrine Maiden had two missions. One was to give the bow of Yggdrasil to the Transmigrator, and the other was to find the magic sword Gram. Lily revealed a third mission, learned through foresight as a child. When the seal of the bow was broken, she was supposed to exchange her life to create the Calamity Killer arrow. Kou finally understood Lily's earlier words, realizing that what he needed was Lily's magic power, not her life. When asked if Lily's foresight was wrong, she responded that she was not sure, speculating that the future might have changed due to some factor, or that it would happen in another future battle. Surara expressed a desire for the latter not to happen. Lily thanked Surara and affirmed her pride as a God of War's Shrine Maiden, ready to give her life whenever necessary. Kou respected Lily's decision but didn't want her to die. Even if a situation like her foresight were to happen, Kou vowed to continue searching for a way to prevent Lily from sacrificing herself. Lily, agreeing and grateful for the support, spoke about their memories in Surrey, and they enjoyed the rest of their meal. Both Surara and Lily passed out after eating dinner, while Kou and Iris watched the night sky while flying. Iris sympathized with Lily, recalling her deceased twin sister. Seeing that Lily carried a heavy burden, Iris thought about her own sister Felice, who had organized her belongings and left a suicide note. Iris regretted not being able to save her sister and was determined to prevent Lily from facing a similar fate. Kou asked Iris if she had a hidden third mission like Lily, one that required her to sacrifice her life. Iris could only wonder, as she was not aware of such a mission. Kou expressed his hope that there wasn't one, as Iris was his precious friend, and he didn't want to lose her. Iris felt lucky to have Kou say that to her. Leaving Surrey, the group's next destination was the fortress port. They planned to take a boat from there to the royal capital, and a crowd gathered to see them off. Count Maillard, who was also heading to the royal capital for an award ceremony, would join them later. Opting for the shortest route to the port, they bypassed the post town. Surara expressed great excitement at the prospect of riding a boat, as it was a first-time experience for her. Later that night, Kou, unable to sleep, decided to experiment with his newly acquired skills. The gauntlet, previously damaged in the battle with the gluttonous dragon, was fully restored inside the item box. It appeared that weapons and armor created by Kou's creation were automatically repaired when stored in the item box. Initially contemplating leaving the room conventionally, Kou opted to use his new ability and warped out of the room. To use short-distance warp through spatial manipulation, Kou needed to specify the destination within his field of vision. Surprisingly, the range of the ability exceeded his expectations. After informing Des that he would be taking a walk, Kou, recognizing Des' continuous night vigilance and transportation efforts, contemplated rewarding him at some point. Kou learned that shortcuts for 3 abilities in spatial manipulation had been created. Moving forward, he could activate each ability by thinking of its name: short distance warp, intangibility, and spatial restraint. Kou found these abilities highly convenient, as split-second differences in battles could be life-changing. Eager to test the intangible skill, Kou looked for monsters and spotted a large scorpion in the distance. The scorpion charged at Kou upon noticing him, but Kou calmly withstood its attacks, which passed through him. Enraged, the scorpion used magic power to attack, but Kou remained unharmed. Manipulating space, Kou could exist in an area without physically being there, an incredibly powerful skill with a maximum duration of about 6 seconds. Kou then noticed a person lying under a tree and, realizing the urgency, manifested his magic sword to swiftly end the large scorpion's life. Approaching the unconscious woman, Kou noticed her attire seemed out of place. Concerned she might have been stung by the scorpion, he attempted to wake her. When she regained consciousness, Kou introduced himself as a passing adventurer, and the woman, Letitia de Meteor, an A-rank adventurer, warned him about the forest's large scorpion. After reassuring her of the scorpion's defeat, Letitia apologized for doubting Kou and confirmed his identity. Kou inquired if they had met before, but Letitia denied it. As they conversed, Kou sensed something amiss and attempted to appraise Letitia, only to receive an error. The target was deemed an existence deviating from existing concepts, leaving Kou wondering about Letitia's true identity. Kou was surprised that the mysterious woman knew he had used appraisal on her. She then teased Kou for trying to reveal a woman's secret. As her face came close to Kou's, she reintroduced herself. Aside from being an A-rank adventurer, she confessed that she was a great calamity dragon summoned from outside the world they are currently in. Letitia was also known as the bright and arrogant dragon. Kou couldn't believe that the woman in front of him was a calamity dragon, but he was still unsure since she looked very human. Kou then assumed that Letitia was the same as the calamity that had tried to attack Surya. Kou was then notified by Full Assist that Letitia's body was that of a human, but it was presumed that she carried the soul of the great calamity, the bright and arrogant dragon. Kou finally understood and categorized Letitia as a calamity that was just wearing human skin. Letitia apologized for startling Kou since she had no intentions of being hostile towards him. Confused by what Letitia meant, she then clarified that the mission of the calamity was to destroy their world. However, whether or not Letitia followed it was a different matter. She then mentioned that she was turning 17 this year and teased Kou by saying that she was in her rebellious phase. Kou wondered if Letitia was somewhat different from the Black Dragon and the Gluttonous Dragon. Letitia understood Kou's doubts towards her, as she had already lied about being attacked by the large scorpion and fainting. After Letitia apologized for lying, Kou asked the reason why she lied. She then responded logically. If she mentioned that she was a calamity, then chances were Kou would think she was a delusional woman. Agreeing to Letitia's answer, Kou then asked the reason why she revealed her identity as a calamity. Letitia responded that she felt that they had met before somewhere in the distant past. Kou was sure that they had never met before, and tonight was the first. However, Kou felt a little strange while answering Letitia that they'd never met before. He felt like he had exchanged words with Letitia before. Letitia then changed the topic and mentioned that there was a series of sightings of large monsters in the vicinity, and that she was visiting the forest to investigate. The large scorpion was a ferocious monster. If left unchecked, it could cause damage to neighboring towns and villages. She believed that it was better to nip the bud as soon as possible. Kou agreed with her thoughts, but still thought that taking on a large scorpion on her own was a bit reckless. Letitia then reminded Kou that she was a calamity and that a large scorpion would be no match for her. When asked why she fainted, she was also unsure what happened. Right before Letitia passed out, she felt similar to the pressure of another calamity nearby. Letitia became puzzled since the gluttonous dragon had escaped due to an injury. Kou then wondered if it was because of the ability spatial manipulation. When Kou showed the ability of spatial manipulation to Letitia, she was very surprised and curious how Kou was able to obtain the gluttonous dragon's ability. When Kou responded that he took the ability, Letitia grabbed his hand and mentioned that she feels the presence of the black dragon form Kou's hand and wondered if Kou was able to use the calamity summoning. Kou was surprised that Letitia could immediately tell. She then mentioned that she has the knowledge of what it meant to be a calamity. There were 3 natural enemies of calamities. One was the hero that has the art of dexterity, another was the sage that has magic ingenuity, and the last was the demon lord that has the calamity summoning. She then asked if Kou was a demon lord, to which he responded that he wasn't. Kou didn't choose any job when he came to a different world. As a result, he was able to obtain cheat skills. Letitia wonders what could it be, as Kou possesses the abilities of a hero, sage, and a demon lord. Letitia became interested in Kou after learning something new. She then asked if it was alright if she could accompany Kou on his journey. Kou was taken aback a little. Letitia understands that her request was very sudden and understands if Kou refuses. However, she was even more surprised when Kou accepted her request. Kou explained that he was only worried about leaving a woman deep in the mountains and it was already getting late. The two reassured one another that no one would be harmed. Letitia then decided that she would only point her fist at villains and monsters. As they were about to leave, Kou wondered what was wrong when he saw Letitia giggling. Letitia was not expecting Kou to have a big heart and thought that it was wonderful. Kou was then informed that if Letitia accompanied him, he would be able to conduct a detailed analysis of the existence of the calamity. By using that information, they may be able to create an anti-calamity item with creation in the future that was equivalent to or even exceeded the Yggdrasil bow. Kou thought that it was a wonderful idea since Lily's magic power was enough to use 20% of the bow's output. However, if Kou was forced to use it at 100%, Lily might be sacrificed. Kou does not want to have that problem. If he could create powerful items with creation, then he wouldn't be able to see Lily making the same expression as before. Letitia was born in a snowy country far north across the sea. A fact was, she was also the second princess. She thought she was just a human being at first. Letitia kept all of her memories and her powers as a calamity in the depths of her mind. However, 5 years ago, the king fell ill. A battle was raging in the court for the right to succeed to the throne. On Letitia's 12th birthday, she ate a poisoned cookie and spent 3 days and 3 nights on the verge of life and death. Because of that incident, she remembered who she really was. Letitia used her calamity's power to eliminate the poison and survived from the brink of death. She then denounced the second prince who poisoned her and stripped his right to succeed the throne. After that, she decided to leave the country. Hearing her story, Kou was curious why Letitia left the country when she had a high status. Letitia responded that leaving the country wasn't easy. However, each calamity has their own unique abilities and she used one of them. When asked what it was, she responded that it was called domination. In simple terms, it was something like brainwashing. By infusing the dragon's factor into anything she touches, she can turn people and things into her puppets. She then demonstrated her power to Kou by commanding the huge tree to wither and drop all of its leaves. Kou was surprised to see how Letitia's ability works, but when he tried to help her out, she then asked if Kou was not afraid of touching her and that she might use domination on him. After a back-and-forth conversation, Kou reassures Letitia that her domination wouldn't work on him. Doubting Kou's words, as per her knowledge, the domination skill would be too powerful to be ignored. When Letitia commanded Kou to tell her his hobbies, a spark of electricity manifested in their hands. Kou was then informed that the arrogant dragon's factor was detected and was immediately blocked by the status abnormality nullification of the transmigrator. After proving to Letitia that her powers do not work on him, Kou then contemplated and became curious what his hobbies were. Seeing Kou's reaction, she told him that he didn't have to force himself to answer, and then proceeded to tell her hobbies to him. After mentioning that she liked poetry, she then recited one. Even though Kou lacked artistic sense and couldn't judge if Letitia's poem was great or not, Kou felt that Letitia's poem had a sense of affinity with it. Morning came and Kou had finally woken up. He was surprised to see that Letitia had already awakened and greeted him so closely. The two had a pleasant conversation, as she didn't expect Kou to sleep peacefully, being named a dragon slayer. Kou was just grateful that he didn't have nightmares while sleeping. When Lily had finally woken up and greeted Kou, she was not expecting to see another woman in the chair. When Sarara introduced herself and asked for Letitia's name, Letitia then introduced herself and informed them that she would be accompanying them on their journey. Lily went ahead and introduced herself and confessed to Letitia that she had seen her in her foresight last night and already knew her real identity. Seeing that Lily had the uniform of the god of war religion and the ability of foresight, Letitia was able to deduce that Lily was a god of war's shrine maiden. When Lily asked if Kou knew Letitia reassured Lily that she had already explained to Kou her true identity. Sarara wanted to know Letitia's secrets, which Letitia found out that Sarara was quite innocent. She then recited a poem to Sarara to introduce herself. After reciting her poem, while the two had a puzzled reaction, Sarara, on the other hand, was extremely surprised to find out that Letitia was a calamity. Sarara then tried to warn Kou about Letitia, but Kou was more surprised that Sarara was able to understand Letitia's poem. Letitia then explained that she preferred creating things rather than destroying them. When Iris had also woken up, she was not expecting to see Letitia inside. Puzzled, Kou wondered if the two knew each other. When Kou was about to ask if they knew about each other, he was stopped by Lily's growling stomach. Kou suggested they have breakfast first since they were pretty hungry. Letitia's eyes sparkled after being served hotep as it was her favorite meal. When Kou finally asked Iris if she knew Letitia, Iris explained that they were on the same subjugation team when Iris accepted a quest to defeat a highly dangerous monster. Letitia then noticed that Iris's atmosphere had changed a lot compared to before, as she used to be a lot more cold and distant and would push people away. Kou was not expecting to hear about Iris's past attitude but was glad that she had good development. Seeing Iris's reaction, Letitia then guessed that she now knows who made Iris change. After teasing Iris, Letitia slipped and told Iris that she was a great calamity. After things had been cleared up, Iris had no objections when Kou decided to trust Letitia. Letitia asked if it was okay with them, since there was a chance that she was fooling Kou. Iris was fine, as she knows that Kou was a shrewd man, and she supports Kou whatever happened. They then ended their conversation as they just kept witnessing a different chemistry between Iris and Kou. They estimated that they would arrive at the fort port before noon. Until then, they decided that each of them would spend their time in the grand cabin as they pleased. Kou created a new item using creation. Noticing the similarities between the white scorpion and black spider, Kou wondered if the two shared the same ancestry. Sarara then confirmed Kou's theory. The white scorpion and the black spider were born from the same exact monster. Since the two monsters share a common ancestor, black spiders and white scorpions have been fighting each other since ancient times to decide the rightful heir. Kou also created the sacred Jallarhorn by combining the trumpet he won, Dark Robe, and Yggdrasil branch. Letitia then announced that she had finally finished her drawing and showed it to everyone. The others were very impressed with Letitia's drawing skills, as the expression in the drawing looked very real. When Sarara asked if Letitia possessed the painting skill, she responded that she does have it, and she also used her calamity power. Kou was called out by Dest and was told to look outside. Kou was happy to see the wide sea. Kou wondered how long it had been since he came to the sea. Then he realized that they should be near Fort Port, and the place was supposed to be crowded, but there was not a single ship. Kou immediately could tell that something was off. Detecting a weak earthquake, Dest reported it to Kou and decided to stop momentarily for their safety. Noticing the tremors, Letitia remembered that earthquakes happen at least once every 3 days and found it a little ominous. Finally arriving at the Fort Port, Dest thanked everyone for their patience. Kou expressed his gratitude towards Dest and suggested that he rest for now. A person then approached Kou, confirming if he really was Kousaka. After Kou confirmed his identity, the person informed the group that there was currently a situation in the town. Knowing that Kou and the others might be tired from their journey, the person still asked if the group could visit the Adventurers Guild first. Arriving at the place, Kou was shocked to see the destruction left behind. Observing the damage, Iris believed that the attack did not come from a monster. The man then shared that the culprit of the chaos was none other than pirates. The man revealed that there had been an attack early in the morning which resulted in the port being destroyed by a pirate ship, a huge battleship that appeared to be an ancient weapon. With the cannon mounted on its bow, the ship thoroughly destroyed the port. The pirates then sent a messenger to the town demanding money, food, and young women. If the people from the town did not comply with the pirates' demands, or if a single person tried to escape from the town, the pirates would resume their attack and burn the fort down along with its residents. Letitia found the pirates' actions unforgivable, and believed that such evil could not go unpunished. She then suggested they strike the pirates with the iron fist of justice. Hearing Letitia, Kou and the others agreed and volunteered to fight the pirates. Arriving at the Adventurers Guild, everyone's eyes were fixed on Kou and his companions. Rumors of Kou's triumph spread, giving the adventurers hope that they could finally beat the pirates with the help of the Dragon Slayer. Seeing Kou embarrassed, Letitia teased him for showing another side of himself. Sharing Kou's shyness, Sarara mentioned a trait that Kou displayed when he became embarrassed. Walking down the hall, Kou and the others were told that the messenger was currently in the staff cafeteria, waiting for the town's answer while eating and drinking. Kou and Letitia became annoyed upon learning that a member of the pirates was wasting everyone's resources. They were then informed by the messenger that if anyone interfered with him, he would contact the main group and give the signal for an all-out attack. Listening to their guide, Kou found the situation quite troublesome. Suddenly, Kou heard a voice begging someone to stop. Using his hearing enhancement, Kou realized the pirate was using his position to molest someone. No longer able to turn a blind eye, Kou stopped, asked the others to wait, and informed them that he had things he needed to do. Approaching the door, Letitia was surprised to see Kou and guessed that he also heard the voice. When Kou and Letitia finally opened the door, they saw a pirate trying to molest a young lady. Seeing the two, the young lady immediately asked for help. Annoyed, the pirate asked who disturbed him, but upon seeing that it was Kou, he was shocked and wondered why he was in town. Seeing that Kou did not remember him, the pirate introduced himself as Zeed. However, Kou still did not remember him. Prioritizing the rescue, Kou used Godspeed X, closing the gap between him and Zeed. In just a second, Kou was already grabbing Zeed by the neck. Thinking of a bright idea, Kou tried out his new item and used it on Zeed. After Zeed cried out in pain, Kou let go of him. The young lady then thanked Kou for saving her. Although Letitia was not bothered that she didn't have to do anything, She was still unsure what to do with her uncontrollable motivation, and feared she might become a raging calamity. After the incident, Kou met up with the branch manager of the guild, Jess White. Even though Kou received gratitude for saving the young lady, he was worried since the negotiation with the pirates ended up becoming a failure because of him. Jess values his employees and holds no grudge against Kou's actions. Jess also shared that he had no intention of complying with the pirates' demands. Curious, Kou asked what Jess meant. Although the pirate ship is an ancient weapon that possesses fearsome power, it would be a different story if the renowned dragon slayer Kou were fighting alongside them. Jess heard from the guards that Kou would arrive in town before noon, and decided to wait for Kou's arrival while pretending to negotiate with the pirates, knowing that if Kou sided with the guild, the town would get through their ordeal with the pirates. Knowing Kou's achievements, Jess begged Kou to help them get rid of the pirates and save the port. Kou understood their request and wished to hear more details. Jess was informed by the messenger Zed that the pirates originally belonged to the mercenary guild. When the stampede happened, the guys from the mercenary guild abandoned the defense of the city and ran away somewhere. They were later driven away by Des to loot the city of Anan in the absence of the residents. Kou wondered if the guys from the mercenary guild had become pirates now. Jess found it unsurprising that people who lost their place on land would become pirates, as he also knew that Two's mercenaries who ran away from the Devil Trent had also joined the pirates. Not sure where the pirates got hold of an ancient weapon, but Kou knew that it was not a weapon that irresponsible mercenaries should have. Unable to answer some of Kou's questions, Kou decided to just get the answers from the closest source and interrogate Zed. Before Kou could begin his interrogation, Letitia asked him to wait, as she planned to extract information from Zed. Through her command, Letitia ordered the unconscious Zed to obey Kou's words. After placing the command, Letitia then left the rest of the work to Kou. Zed woke up from the pain after Kou used his new skill on him. Realizing that he was currently tied down, Zed panicked and asked what was going on. In his panic, Zed knocked over a plant and ended up hitting his groin. When Kou asked Zed if he was okay, Zed only became angrier and threatened that the pirates would not let them get away with treating him badly. Kou was puzzled when Zed told him that he hadn't forgotten what Kou did to him. Because of Kou helping Chrome, the mercenary guild, along with Zed, was exposed for abandoning the escort quest. Seeing that Kou finally remembered him, Zed warned Kou that their leader is a former B-ranked mercenary named Dox. When Zed asked if Kou remembered Dox, Kou had a vague memory of knocking someone named Dox out with a chair. Due to Kou's actions and meddling in their affairs, Zed warned that the city would be destroyed. Kou had no plans of letting the pirates have their way and told Zed that he would annihilate them. When Kou asked Zed to tell him everything, Zed laughed as he was not afraid of Kou's threats. However, Zed became confused when he suddenly agreed to Kou's request. Zed started panicking as he realized he had now vowed to follow Kou's orders and reveal everything. The man who had abused his position as a messenger to make anyone do his will was now at the mercy of others through the power of domination. There were 3 pieces of useful information obtained from Zed. First, the pirates had a total of 5 ships from an ancient civilization. Only one of them was manned, and the other 4 were automated unmanned vessels. Iris wondered how the pirates were able to learn how to operate the vessels, as the mechanisms of the ships should be completely different from current ships. Surara shared how great the ancient ships were since the ships have learning devices that will teach the person how to operate them. The ancient ships also have artificial intelligence to assist their operator, praising the creators of the ancient civilization. However, Letitia commented on how the ancient civilization's system backfired. Kou believed that the current situation they were dealing with was a prime example of how dangerous it is if an ancient weapon falls into the wrong hands. Lily commented on how a tool can be good or bad, depending on who uses it. The second piece of information Kou obtained was that a separate pirate force was waiting on the West Road. Realizing that the pirates were well prepared, Jess and everyone else did not expect that the pirates had a force on land as well. Kou believed that the hidden force was there to capture and rob people who fled from the town. Surara was curious as to why they did not see any pirates on their way to the fort from Surir. Kou explained that they took the direct route, a shorter but more dangerous path. Based on logic, Iris believed that if people were fleeing from the fort, they would surely take the west road since the east road is more dangerous. The third piece of information was the size of the pirate group. The pirates were a large group of more than 200 people, with about 120 on board as the main group. Acknowledging that both pirate groups should not be ignored, Letitia suggested they thoroughly crush the pirates. If they let even one escape, it could lead to the possibility of new troubles. Letitia hoped they could catch everyone. Knowing what they needed to do next, Kou thanked Zed for providing them with lots of information. When Kou asked for one last favor, Zed laughed at first. However, due to Letitia's command, Zed could not refuse Kou's request. When Kou asked Zed where he hid the magic tool for communicating with the main group, Zeed revealed that the communication tool was in the right pocket of his pants. Seeing the prototype magic communication device, Kou smiled as the device not only resembled an old phone but also had a cool name. Planning to use the communicator, Kou advised Zeed to rest for the time being. Zeed then fainted after being hit once again by Kou's skill. Having obtained all the information they needed, Kou told everyone that they were going to launch a preemptive strike. Branch Chief Jess asked for help from the adventurers of the port to deal with the large number of pirates. Meanwhile, Kou and the others moved to another place to fight against the other group. When asked if they were going to exterminate the other group first, Kou revealed that they were going to split up and deal with both groups. Holding the sacred Jaller horn, Lily noticed that the crest on the horn was similar to hers. The crest belonged to Warden, the god of war, the main god. According to the lore of the god of war religion, the god of war gathers the souls of brave warriors in his castle in the divine world and prepares them for the great battle that will eventually come. The story is similar to Norse mythology, where Odin gathered fallen warriors in Valhalla in preparation for Ragnarok. Kou also noticed that there are some points in the world he is currently in that are similar to Norse mythology. Lily shared that when the god of war's successor appears, the god will hand over an army of valiant warriors to them. Lily guessed that Kou may not just be a transmigrator but also the god of war's successor. Using the horn, magic suddenly emitted from the ground, showing the crest of the god of war. Using the Spirit Warrior summon with Kou's level, he was able to summon a maximum of 1,090 warriors. Not sparing any warriors, Kou proceeded to summon all 1,090 warriors. Although shocked, Iris was no longer surprised, knowing that Kou is always out of the norm. Calling forth the valiant warriors, Kou asked them to fight together with them to protect the people of the town. 4,000 years ago, when an ancient civilization flourished, there was a unit called the Knights of the Dawn, consisting of elite knights formed to defeat calamities. When the Black Dragon appeared, they immediately set out to defeat it. However, they were all wiped out. After a long slumber, the courageous souls of the warriors were summoned into the present world. Surara relayed a message from the warriors thanking Kou for avenging them and promising to repay the favor. The summoned souls are restricted by the god of war and cannot speak to living humans. However, Surara, being a magical creature, enables him to speak to the summoned warriors. Letitia clarified to Kou that the knights were following him not because he summoned them, but because he is the hero who accomplished the feat of defeating the Black Dragon. Listening to Letitia, Kou felt embarrassed. Lily shared that in her dream, she was holding Surara and advancing through the plan together with many knights. Lily believed it was a premonition of what was going to happen. In Lily's premonition, she is able to catch every single person in the separate group and suggests to Kou that he leave the group to her. Agreeing to Lily's request, Kou only asked that she not push herself too hard. Kou then prepared an attack on the main group. Looking over at the destroyed port, Letitia asked Kou if he had any idea where they could get a boat. Letitia was surprised when Kou told her he was going to make one. Kou laughed as Iris guessed that he was going to use creation. Their conversation was interrupted by a group of people asking Kou if he was the rumored dragon slayer. After confirming his identity, the group complimented Kou's looks and gave him a fruit as a parting gift. The people regretted that they weren't strong enough to beat the pirates. The apple is known to be the best in the northwest of the Blue Forest in the Baron's territory. Kou was asked to accept the fruit as a token of apology. Kou was surprised when everyone suddenly wished to give him many things as a token of appreciation. Kou was asked how they were going to reach the pirates since there was not a single boat left. Kou did not see it as a huge problem. Using the boat wreckage, Kou completed the requirements needed to use creation magic. Letitia and everyone else were astonished as they witnessed how Kou built not just the port, but also a ship. Both the port and cruiser that Kou created have their own attributes and benefits. Shocked, the townspeople wondered if Kou was the reincarnation of a god. Even though they already knew of Kou's capabilities, both Letitia and Iris still couldn't believe it after witnessing Kou's skills. The townspeople hugged Kou, relieved that they could now go fishing and just needed to make a boat. The restoration of the harbor was only a byproduct of the creation magic. Kou's main creation was the boat. Apparently, magic boats existed in ancient civilizations. It's equipped with a magic reactor core inside, with the most notable feature being the golem combination. Using his ability, Kou combined the destroyer golem with the Exceed cruiser. Everyone was surprised by the boat Kou built, as it had no sail. Kou explained that Dest would be in charge of controlling the boat. After praising Dest for looking cool, Kou was ready and departed from the port. Waving at Kou, the townspeople bid him good luck. The Exceed cruiser is a high-speed magic boat moving at a high speed. Kou was unsure if it was because of stability enhancement, but the boat wasn't shaking at all. Kou was surprised when he saw Letitia having tea, which made him wonder where Letitia got the tea in the first place. When Kou asked Letitia about the tea, he was surprised when she mentioned that it came from outside this world. Seeing Kou's confused look, Letitia guessed that he would understand it if she demonstrated it to him. Using her magic, Letitia made the table vanish, prompting Kou to ask if it was an item box. Letitia clarified that it wasn't an item box, but rather a personal warehouse with unlimited capacity, created outside this world. Letitia explained that this power is part of the abilities she borrowed from one of the calamities, the Gleaming Greedy Dragon. Letitia told Kou that she had lost some of her old memories, particularly those from before she was born as Letitia de Meteor, tens of thousands of years ago. When Letitia was called into the world as the arrogant Dragon of Brilliance, she only remembered that the Gleaming Greedy Dragon was somewhat like her little brother. Letitia could feel the Gleaming Greedy Dragon's presence and guessed it was because they're siblings. Letitia is traveling in search of her little brother. Similar to her situation, Letitia was sure that her brother had abandoned his mission as a calamity and was living freely as he pleased. The Gleaming Greedy Dragon is good-natured, and Letitia believed her brother might be helping others whenever he encounters someone in need. Seeing Letitia's closeness with her brother, Kou felt he might be able to get along with the calamities just fine. Hearing a beep sound in his pocket, Kou took out the communication device and was surprised when he heard Dox introducing himself. Calling through the communication device, Dox asked about the situation on the land and whether the people had accepted the demands. Dox got annoyed when Zed didn't respond. Dox mentioned that it no longer mattered if the people accepted the demands, as they still planned to get the money, food, and women and have a big party. Commenting on how he looked like a fool doing mercenary jobs before, Dox was surprised when he heard Kou's voice. Enraged just by hearing Kou's voice, Dox warned Kou not to get ahead of himself. Dox then threatened Kou with their ancient weapons and planned to watch Kou burn before setting the fort's port on fire. After the call ended, Kou was puzzled by Dox's last comment about the port being set on fire. Dest then warned Kou that they had a lot of magic missiles approaching from the sky. Seeing so many magic missiles, Kou guessed that the magic missile was a very powerful weapon since it bore the name Anti-Calamity. However, Kou and the others had already defeated the Black Dragon and were not afraid of the pirates' ancient weapons. As Iris reported to Kou that she was ready, Kou told her to prepare for other attacks. Kou planned to deal with the missiles by shooting all of them down. Casting a huge magic circle in front of the cruiser, Kou summoned multiple fire arrows and countered all the incoming magic missiles. As the two powerful attacks clashed, it resembled a fireworks display. As Kou and the others enjoyed the view, Iris then noticed an incoming attack and immediately blocked it. Thanking Iris for protecting them, Kou now wondered where the enemy was. From a far distance, multiple assault cruisers were headed toward Kou and their ship. Releasing an attack, Iris once again blocked the attack. Kou expected no less from Iris, as the Dragon God Barrier X was very sturdy. Changing their direction, Kou ordered Letitia to take care of the two ships on the right, while he took care of the two ships on the left. Following Kou's orders, Letitia was now about to go on a rampage. Kou then ordered Iris to stay on the boat and follow their enemies' movements from behind. Kou added another order to Iris. If Dox started attacking him, Kou wanted Iris to cover him. As Kou received an update from Dest that they were now out of range of the enemy, Kou then gave the signal to counterattack. Creating a new type of potion, Kou drank the flying potion, which gave him a period of time to fly after consuming it. Kou tried offering it to Letitia, however Letitia was worried about testing the potion during a real battle. After deactivating the barrier, Iris then asked the two to be careful. Jumping off the ship, Kou was surprised upon witnessing Letitia sprinting on the water. Observing more clearly, Kou noticed that Letitia was stepping on ice. Kou realized that Letitia was exercising domination over the sea surface, creating a foothold by freezing it locally. Kou was very impressed by Letitia, realizing that domination was a much more versatile ability than he had imagined. Evading the ship's attacks, Kou then used the Bastard Gauntlet to absorb some of the ship's attacks. Pulling out his sword, Kou planned to return the power he absorbed. With just the God of War slash, Kou was able to cut down two of the assault cruisers. Realizing that taking down the ships was much easier, Kou then decided to help Letitia. Observing how Letitia always spoke in a ladylike language and had graceful manners, Kou guessed that Letitia would not do anything that would get her hands dirty, but instead would use magic from a distance to blow the ships away. To Kou's surprise, Letitia took out the ships using just a punch and a kick. Witnessing the ships explode, Kou remained speechless as he commented that Letitia's attacks were quite bold. Letitia laughed as she took Kou's comment as a compliment. After destroying the 4 unmanned ships, Kou was now thinking of targeting the remaining ship. To Kou's surprise, they were suddenly attacked from a distance. Fortunately for Kou and Letitia, they were able to sense the attack and dodge it. Kou was happy that the pirates would go out of their way to reveal their location to him and Letitia. Curious, Letitia asked Kou how he wanted to order the attack. Kou shared his plan to attract the ship's attacks and wanted Letitia to come after him. Agreeing with Kou's plan, Letitia couldn't hide her excitement at taking on the ancient ship. Seeing Iris approaching them, Letitia commented on how Iris had totally changed, as she wasn't cheerful in the past. Seeing Kou blush, Letitia then teased him for looking cute when embarrassed. Before proceeding with their attack, Letitia told Kou that she would be watching them as if she were a wall or a ceiling. When Kou was finally close to the ship, he was surprised at how humongous it was. The ancient ship had high magic power laser cannons, the same kind mounted on Dest. If such weapons were unleashed on the city, it would be more than just a sea of fire. The damage could be compared to a catastrophe level. As the cannons of the ship were being pointed at Kou, he praised Dox for finding something so crazy, and was very curious about how he had found it. Evading all of the cannon's attacks, it was revealed that Kou's role was just a diversion, and wondered if Letitia had charged in without any issues. Kou was surprised when one of the cannons suddenly exploded. Running amok on the ship, Letitia was hastily destroying all the cannons that were attacking Kou. Letitia then thanked Kou for diverting the enemy's attention, which made their plan successful. Seeing the commander's room, Kou then headed towards the room to crush Dox and the pirates. Inside the commander's room, the pirates were now panicking since the cannons were getting destroyed one by one. They were then caught off guard when Kou barged in through the window. Removing the dust from his shoulder, Kou asked the pirates where Dox was. Stepping forward, a man named Januma told Kou that he was not in the shop. Not recognizing him at first, Kou eventually remembered Januma as one of the mercenaries. The pirates became excited as Januma thanked Kou for coming to them to be killed. As the pirates started attacking Kou, he easily evaded their attacks. Kou laughed and thought that the pirates should take care of their weapons since he could see the rust on the weapons due to the pirates swinging them slowly. Grabbing one of the pirates' heads, Kou knocked the pirate out with high-voltage electricity using his gauntlet. Another pirate tried attacking Kou from behind. However, Kou easily blocked it and threw away the spear using just his feet. One by one, Kou took out the pirates with haste. The pirates were now confused, curious as to why they could not kill Kou when he was just alone. Wondering if Kou was really human, other pirates were already considering surrendering. Kou advised the pirates to surrender to avoid any more pain inflicted on them. Januma told the pirates not to be scared and reassured them that Kou could still be defeated as he was still just a human. As Januma ordered the pirates to surround Kou and attack him together, the pirates started regaining their morale and were much eager to kill Kou. Surprised that the pirates had suddenly regained their fighting spirit, Kou wondered if the pirates truly admired Januma so much. Kou then learned that Januma had a skill called Fighting Spirit Enchantment, a skill that affects the mental state of one's allies and increases their will to fight. Januma's fighting spirit instantly transformed the previously frightened pirates into deadly warriors. Kou thought that the skill was very powerful and would be welcomed with open arms in the army or the knights. Kou remembered when he was told the difference between drawing a good hand and properly utilizing a good hand. Though many people are blessed with good skills but cannot properly use them, or can only use the skill to make those around them miserable. Thinking that the fighting spirit skill was wasted on Januma, Kou went on a front charge and immediately took out 2 pirates with his skill. Although the pirates regained their fighting spirit through Januma's skills, it was still not enough for them to defeat Kou as all of them ended up getting knocked out. Januma laughed as he believed that Kou was now tired after taking out so many pirates. After defeating Kou, Januma planned to be called the Killer of the Dragon Slayer. Using his axe technique, Januma was very eager to split Kou into 2. Calling the weapon's name, Kou became curious and asked Januma if the orichalcum axe was from an ancient civilization. Surprised that Kou had some idea about the weapon, Januma shared how he had found the weapon in the ruins. Creating an axe of his own, Kou planned to fight Januma with an axe. Laughing at Kou, Januma asked him what he intended to do with his wooden axe. Orichalcum, known as the highest class of ore for both physical and magical defense, is something Kou knows would put him in grave danger if he were ever to get hit by it. However, Kou also knows that his Hikino's wooden axe isn't inferior to an orichalcum axe. Januma was about to swing his axe when Kou suddenly threw his axe towards him, forcing Januma to defend instead of attack. After the 2 axes collided, Januma was surprised as his orichalcum axe shattered. Kou was not shocked that Januma was surprised his axe shattered. Kou's Hikino's axe is enhanced with a throwing critical. With his agility, Kou closed the gap between himself and Januma. Grabbing Januma's coat, Kou was able to subdue him using the gauntlet's electric ability. Now in full control of the command center, Kou expresses his desire to catch Dox next but finds it troublesome to search for him inside the big ship. Kou then thought of a good idea and used auto-mapping on the ship. Auto-mapping is a skill like a smartphone map application, but its function is a higher-level version. In addition to providing route guidance by specifying a destination, it can also search for and locate people. With just one order, Kou was able to pinpoint Dox's location. As Kou headed toward Dox's location, he encountered 2 pirates who looked surprised, not expecting to see Kou there. The two pirates ended up regretting following Dox before being knocked out by Kou. Feeling the vibration in the ship, Kou guessed that it was Letitia's doing. Receiving a call from the communication device, Kou picked it up and spoke to Dox. After being told by Kou that he defeated Januma and that Dox was next, Dox laughed and told Kou that the one being cornered wasn't him, but Kou instead. Kou was a bit wary, as Dox was unusually confident. Dox revealed that the room he was currently in serves as a backup command center, giving him control over the ship's main weapon. Setting the target to Fort Port, Dox now asked Kou what his next move would be. Dox offered Kou an option. If he surrendered, Dox would consider not attacking. Kou guessed that the ship's main weapon was the super laser cannon. If such a thing were to hit the city, it would cause a tremendous number of deaths. Planning to avoid such a scenario, Kou spoke to Dox, expressing his disappointment that Dox would stoop even lower. Laughing maniacally, Dox told Kou that there are no rules in battle. Kou tried confirming that Dox wouldn't attack if he agreed to the condition. However, knowing Dox's plan in the first place, he told Dox that he knew he wouldn't meet his end of the agreement, which surprised Dox. Hearing Dox's reaction, Kou made sure that Dox wouldn't be able to lay a finger on the city. Kou took out his wooden mallet. Knowing that Dox was in a hidden room behind a wall, Kou placed an enchantment on his Hikino's wooden mallet. Given only one option, Kou hit the wall with his wooden mallet, creating a hole in the hidden room. Entering the hidden room, Dox was confused as he asked Kou how he was able to destroy the wall when it was made of orichalcum. After accusing Kou of cheating, Kou grabbed Dox by the cheeks and subdued him, repeating Dox's words that there are no rules in battle. After taking care of Dox, Kou was ready to subdue the rest of the pirates without leaving anyone behind. When Kou finally exited the ship, Letitia had already taken care of all the pirates, landing an uppercut on the last one. Impressed, Kou asked Letitia how many she had defeated. As the two shared a rough estimate of how many pirates they defeated, Kou also mentioned that he had already defeated Dox and that everything was now under control. Kou thanked Letitia for helping out with the pirate subjugation. Letitia commented that she should be the one thanking Kou, as she was able to do the job with ease. Heading home, Kou planned to return to the command center and carry the orichalcum rocks along with all the unconscious pirates. On their way to the command center, Letitia kept glancing at Kou, which Kou noticed and asked if there was something she wanted to say. Letitia then told Kou that she was just thinking about her younger brother, the gleaming greedy dragon. Letitia still had no solid clue at the moment as to where her brother was. Knowing her brother's behavior, Letitia was sure that he was currently helping people somewhere in the world. If there was a village targeted by bandits, Letitia was sure that her brother would protect the villagers and make sure they were unharmed. The name Greed implies that her brother will achieve a perfectly happy ending. Listening to Letitia, Kou wondered if such a thing could even be considered greed. Understanding Kou's point of view, Letitia shared that the name given to a calamity brought from outside the world has two sides of the same coin. Letitia's brother had a strong sense of responsibility and never cut corners when he decided to do something. The gleaming greedy dragon would always try to do things perfectly until the end. On the other hand, it could also be seen as a kind of greediness for the best outcome. Although the perspective is a bit confusing, Kou understood that it was a matter of interpretation. Not feeling any arrogance in Letitia, Kou asked about her characteristics. Glad that Kou asked, Letitia revealed that she had decided to use her power to protect people. Letitia was determined to strike with her iron fist of justice against those who unreasonably took away someone's life or property. However, Letitia knew that what she was doing was justifying her own violence in the name of justice. Kou then understood Letitia's perspective on arrogance. Letitia shared her view that the terms arrogance and greed are too biased, and that others are only focused on the negative aspects of the words. Thinking that the entity that brought the calamities and gave them such names had a twisted nature, Letitia wished to punch that entity right in the face. When Kou asked about the identity of the entity that brought Letitia and the other calamities into the world, Letitia was unable to provide an answer, as that part of her memory was missing. Kou thought that the memory involving the entity might have been intentionally erased. Considering the outside part of the world and the existence of the one who brought the calamities, Kou showed a bit of concern as there were still many things that he didn't know. That is the end of the recap at Chapter 40. Please read the pinned comment about the next part.